take over the strait and charge a toll after Iran announced another blockade for ships. South Carolina's governor appointing Darlene Graham Nordone, the sister of the late Senator Lindsey Graham, to carry out the rest of his term. ABC's Christian Cordero has more.
She doesn't have a political background. I mean, the two were incredibly close siblings. He essentially helped raise her. The family has dealt with so many tragedies throughout the year and came from very humble roots, which he's talked about quite often. And so it's seen as a ceremonial kind of gesture of the fact that she would be able to play out the rest of his term.
His term ends in January. President Trump will deliver a primetime address Thursday. Sources familiar with the matter tell ABC News the president plans to detail information he has recently received from the Office of the Interim Director of National Intelligence related to the 2020 election. This is ABC News. A federal judge in Florida referring President Trump's attorneys for potential disciplinary action over the filing of the $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS that led to the now abandoned anti-weaponization fund.
U.S. District Judge Kathleen Williams' 56-page order is unsparing in its assessment of what she describes as bad faith actions of President Trump, his Justice Department, and his personal lawyers to use a lawsuit filed against his own government to legitimize a settlement that she says would have never survived judicial review. Williams also directly called out Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche at multiple points throughout her order and suggests he provided misleading testimony before Congress when probed over the Justice Department's now dismissed anti-weaponization fund. The ruling comes 2 days ahead of Blanche's confirmation hearing before the Senate Judiciary Committee. Peter Haralambous, ABC News.
The Guggenheim Museum in New York among the buildings that tested positive in the city's Legionnaire disease outbreak. 56 people have been diagnosed with a pneumonia-type illness. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
At 3:02, new information on the attempted kidnapping at Pike Place Market. More on that story, but first, here's Nate at the traffic desk.
Thanks, Tim. Nothing's going to surprise you out there. Everton Marysville, we're approaching 20 minutes. You're crowded from the Boeing Freeway up to 529. And eastbound on the Boeing Freeway is thinning out, but still heavy, approaching Evergreen Way. South 5 into Seattle jams up approaching the Ship Canal Bridge in the downtown. North 5, we're heavy from the West Seattle Bridge to the Columbia Towers. Southbound 405 is thick from Southeast 8th there in Bellevue to Cold Creek Parkway. And then from there, you'll thin out as you head into Renton. Bellevue to Renton, plan on a half hour. Down in Thurston County, we've cleared out North 5 through Lacey, but South 5 slows as you head into Olympia. Otherwise, that trip from Tacoma to Olympia is pretty much wide open. And southbound 167, we're packed from State Route 18 through Sumner. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Tim Hole. No felony charges will be filed against a man arrested for allegedly trying to kidnap a baby last week at Pike Place Market, but he could face misdemeanor charges. The King County Prosecutor's Office says Seattle police found the evidence didn't support a felony charge and are now referring the case to the Seattle City Attorney's Office for review at the misdemeanor level. The suspect has been held on a $100,000 bond since his arrest last Thursday. Meantime, in Portland, police say a family vacation nearly turned into a kidnapping. Investigators say a 31-year-old man grabbed a 7-year-old girl at a busy waterfront park over the weekend. Police say the girl's parents and several bystanders pulled the child away before the suspect could leave. Officers arrested Daniel Vassy a short time later as he swam in the Willamette River. He faces multiple charges, including attempted kidnapping. 6 defendants accused of organized retail theft were arraigned earlier today in King County. Casey McNerthney with the prosecutor's office tells Seattle's Morning News they were hitting stores including Nordstrom, Target, and Lululemon.
Just businesses that are getting hammered.
Prosecutors say the suspects hit stores over and over, pushing charges to the felony level. A Forbes study ranks Washington #1 in the nation for retail crime. An Okanagan couple says they had just 5 minutes warning to get out of their home before it was destroyed by the B&O fire. Brandon Rudnick tells KIRO 7.
Once I came over the hill and seen the house up, I just prayed that my family was out.
They were. Their kids, parents, pets, and livestock are safe, but the home was destroyed. The fire now 63% contained and has burned more than 2,800 acres in several homes. Clark County will become the latest western Washington county to restrict outdoor burning. A burn ban takes effect on Wednesday. Residential and land clearing fires will be banned through at least September 30th. Clark County joins King, Snohomish, Thurston, and other counties where seasonal burn restrictions are already in place because of dry conditions and increasing wildfire danger. Recreational traditional campfires are still allowed in approved fire pits. It's the beginning of a landmark trial that could define pharmacists' responsibility to police controlled substances. Washington State's lawsuit against Albertsons. KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery with the latest.
Mass overdoses in parking lots outside pharmacies. Up to 5,000 opioid pills a month to single patients. Only 7% of flagged prescriptions investigated. That's the picture painted by Washington State attorneys as they accuse Albertsons of fueling the opioid crisis by not stopping obvious diversion of pills to the black market. Albertsons attorneys deny wrongdoing. They say their safety measures have evolved over time, though. They also say the bar to deny a prescription is incredibly high, partially because of the state's own duty to dispense rules. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your Monday forecast mostly clear overnight tonight with a low of 54, more sunshine and a little bit warmer tomorrow. 81 for the high. We'll hit 83 with a few clouds on Wednesday, maybe a chance of showers Thursday morning, otherwise partly sunny in the afternoon. Seattle right now, sunny and 77. I'm Tim Hole, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Got it. Here we go, the John Curley Show. Mondays always suck, I gotta tell you that. Our shows are, Friday's great. We're like a V2 rotate. That's the plane gets up to V2 rotate, meaning it has to take off. We're a little slow on Monday. Tuesday get better, right?
I see.
I'm going to break that today. This show's going to be better than Friday's show.
Nice. Starts with the headphones.
I couldn't find my other thingies. I mean, I got them right here. They don't plug in.
Yeah, look at those. Where'd you get those? The airport?
Oh, shush up. You're right. I did. Diving in the Hello to Mrs. B in the House of Cats. Everybody around the old watering hole? Let's see. There he is.
Can't start.
Do you want to know where that came from? It started a long time ago, and then we asked listeners when Tom and I used to do the show, please tell us who else you would like around the watering hole. And then they kept adding, and then Godzilla was in there, and there's a cat in there, there's a bunch of other animals. You hear them in there.
Somehow I'd never asked that question.
Yeah, well, you don't need to. How was your Sunday, everybody? Did you have a good Sunday? What'd you do yesterday? Think about it for a moment. Did you spend time with your kids and your friends? Did you have a couple laughs? Did you spend more time with human beings, or were you watching television? Were you online? If you answered that you did not spend as much time with your family and friends, then you are part of the problem. You are the reason we have a declining birth rate. So here are some solutions to the declining birth rate and to you people that didn't spend time with family or friends. So this group called the Institute for Family Studies are deeply concerned about the birth rate declining in the United States, and they have a few suggestions. Now, some of them are sort of reasonable things that we hear a lot of. Like, for instance, the government should give a $15,000 little boost to everybody. Then that money goes into the stock market, and then you can have that for the kids when they get older. It could be for college or whatever else, right? So that's $15,000 investment. They also suggest that when it comes to housing, that change the zoning laws, produce more housing, thus driving down the price of homes, and it would be one of the big affordable things that people would then go, well, we got a house or we got an apartment that doesn't cost us an arm or a leg, keeps us at about 30% of our income goes towards housing. That would be good. Right now, it's way too high for people. So often when you ask people if they would like to have a kid, they'll tell you, oh, we just simply can't afford it. We can't even find an apartment. It's way out of reach for everybody. So that's a problem. So what are they called again? The Institute for Family Studies. Both of those seem reasonable.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard that kind of stuff before. All right, now here's where it gets kind of bizarre, and this is what makes it fun. And they said that, a lot of these are just sort of wild, out-of-the-box ideas, but ones that should be considered.
Just spitballing here.
Yeah. Are you ready? Bring back the blue laws. Now, if you're not familiar with what a blue law is, I actually, as a kid, experienced these in Ocean City, New Jersey. On Sundays, you could buy kite string, but you couldn't buy a kite. no toys were allowed to be sold on Sundays unless the toy was religious based. So that's why you would see kids playing with, or they would sell like Noah's Ark. So you could buy all the little pieces and buy Noah and Mrs. Noah. Is their last name is Noah? Goldberg. I think it was Noah Goldberg. The Goldbergs, you could buy Mr. and Mrs. Goldberg, and you could have all the different animals going onto the ark because the kids could play with Noah's Ark on a Sunday, but no other toys. So that and as a kid, I remember, I think they sold candy bars, but in Ocean City, New Jersey, they still have some blue laws. There's no alcohol on that part of Ocean City, that part of New Jersey, South Jersey. You can't. There's no alcohol anywhere. You can't. You can buy it outside at Circle Liquor and then drive it in. But if you go into any restaurant anywhere, no way, no how, no alcohol whatsoever. I can't remember if you can bring a bottle of wine into a restaurant. It doesn't matter. They finally got rid of some of the blue laws, like stores being open. They let the stores be open. Now you can buy toys that don't include two hippopotamus or hippopotami. And you don't have to just play with Mr. and Mrs. Noah Goldstein. So this is one of their ideas. So they want to have stores close on Sunday. So you would be home, you wouldn't be able to shop. Now, if you did want to shop online, you would pay more for anything you buy online on a Sunday. There'd be a higher tax on that. So they're trying to drive you away from Sunday shopping online to just, do all your shopping on other days when you really should be having Sunday as a day where you're either, hanging out with your family or trying to make a family. That's their idea. Then they say, if you go to a restaurant, you should pay less in tax at a restaurant because it's outdoor. I mean, it's outside the home. You're with other people, and it's better for you to be around other people, socializing. So you pay less if you go to a restaurant. You would pay a higher tax if you had the stuff delivered to your house. So, again, they're incentivizing you. We use taxes all the time for people to stop particular behavior that we don't like we pay more for alcohol, cigarettes, stuff like sin tax, right? Alcohol. Then they say, if you go to a bar, pay less in taxes at the bar for the beer, the alcohol, and the wine because you're socializing, you're out in public. But if you go to a store and you pick up, a fifth of Tito's and take it home, you pay more for it, a lot more for it if you go to a liquor store or if you go and buy a six-pack somewhere and you go home and drink it in your little hovel.
What if you could prove that you were cohabitating and it might, be an at-home date night?
Then you know what? Go to a restaurant and tie one on and go home and see if you can get it going.
All right.
Joe, sorry about that. I didn't mean to yell at you.
That's fine.
Reduce screen time for kids. So on Sundays, the kids wouldn't be able to access their phones. Now, whether that would be done by the parents or done by the state, it would just simply be no screen time for the kids on the weekends. And then maybe even reduce the amount of screen time they have the rest of the week, whether that would be done in the home or the government would force the digital providers to reduce the amount of content that kids can get. So now we've got kids not on the phone. We have parents not at home ordering stuff to come into the house. We have people out in public, out there doing stuff. Now, this is not that unusual. In Sweden, in 2017, the proposal was that all employees would have an hour off after right around lunchtime to go home and get it on. It was the sex break, 1 hour paid sex break for everybody. It didn't pass. The proposal was kicked around for a while, but then they said, we're not going to do that. Japan tried the same thing in 2008. They had they would let you off early. They said, if we let people leave around 4 o'clock, tell all employees get off at 4 o'clock, rather than working late into the office, they'd be able to go home and then maybe have a little bit of energy for, procreation.
Mm.
That didn't work either. In Russia in 2024, same sort of thing. They said, we want to have a coffee break so everyone goes home, and just, try to have a baby. So everybody leave for the coffee break and then come back to work. with the walk of shame or something. So that also, that's still sort of being kicked around, but they haven't made it official yet. So you could say you're going home for a coffee break, but they don't ask for any evidence of anything. So other countries are trying to do this because the birth rate is declining throughout the world, and it is a big problem for first world countries. Third world countries seem to have no trouble producing more than enough kids. So what can you do for the United States and Canada, Denmark, Sweden, you name it, Europe? Everybody is in a dire strait because we just simply don't have enough kids to replace us. So we have to get back up to 2. We need 2.0 for it to work out for everybody. So I'll tell you, as a father, I highly recommend being a parent. And a lot of people, there's been different studies that have said that, well, people will wait until things are better. There's a study I saw the other day that said that the generation coming up is too risk adverse and they don't want to try it. Studies actually show now that people are having babies between the ages of 28 and 34, and they think the optimal time is about 30. When it comes to regrets, there have been studies that show that 7% of people regret. But the study was asking more than 100,000 parents and they hit the age of 40. They said, if you could, would you have not had kids? 7% said, right now, at the age of 40, 7% said, we regret having children. Right? So that means 93% of the rest of us are all in there as parents are like, yeah, it's hard. Yes, it's difficult, but no regrets at all. But because women are putting off having children until later, at the age of 32, they say, well, we want to have 2 kids. Well, they might have 1, and then they might have trouble having another one. So they end up with 1 child. But again, strong advocate for being a parent. Here's what happened for us. It was in the Seattle Times, which was sort of weird. And the article read, no sooner did the evening magazine host John Curley sign his divorce papers than he walked across the hallway and the ink wasn't dry on the divorce papers, and he then signed up to be married again. That was in the Seattle Times. Thank you, whoever at the King County, whoever, I guess it was in Kent or something.
Which series of events was this?
Well, that would be marriage number 2.
So marriage number 1 ending, 2 starting?
Yeah, so 1 ended, and I did. I signed the divorce papers there at Kent Court. It was not the, whatever that is, at Kent County
Clerk's
whatever.
Office.
I don't know what it was.
Sure.
I did. I signed the thing, divorce, and walked across the hallway with lace and signed up for the marriage part. Yeah. We didn't do a whole lot of planning, and then came Charlie. Charlie, we always say to Charlie, she goes, so when did you guys get married? We're like, don't do the math. It all worked out. So then I think 10 and a half months later, even though they said it couldn't be done, Rye comes along. So true Irish twins. That's anything within a year. In fact, I remember going to a Swedish hospital, and one of the nurses said, weren't you just here like a couple of months ago? I said, what can I say? More fertile than the Ohio Valley Basin. Yeah. So here's the great thing about being a parent. If you do it right, and it is the hardest job in the world, but if you do it wrong, it's, not that hard, and you will probably have tons of regrets. It is extremely difficult to be a parent. You get a chance to relive your childhood again. You try to break all the bad things that you didn't like about how you were raised, and you try to infuse new things, new ways into having your child grow up in a life that you wanted to have. But you still carry with you a lot of reminders of what worked for you when you were a kid, and you get a chance to try those again with the next generation. Here's the best part. The best part is you end up raising 2 people, if you do it right, who become great people who you really, really enjoy being around. There is just something about you seeing yourself passed on to the next generation, but then they're not exactly duplicates of you. They take the best and worst of you, and then you end up with really unique human beings that are in your life. Plus, the other part of it is, if you get your kid to learn some sports, there's nothing better than being a dad in the stands, sitting on the wooden benches, watching your kid play some sort of sport. It is better than anything you ever did on any field of competition. I was a pretty good athlete, but there was nothing compared to watching my kid pitch or my daughter play soccer. The joy of watching your kid succeed, you can't even measure it. And if you're a parent, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And there were many times at a baseball game where I was pitching where the ref or ump came over and told me to either be quiet or watch from the car. Where I would strike some kid out and I would yell, "Grab some wood!" Or even Ryan on the mound would look over at me like, "Go on, Dad, give me a break here. I got 3 pitches. One of them is over the fence. The other is in the dirt. The other one is in the glove. But it didn't matter. It's the greatest joy in the world to be a dad. So you don't need necessarily a coffee break or something else, but you will never have the perfect time to have a child, because right after Charlie was born, a couple years later, I got fired, and then I lost my job, and then I was like really desperate to find some way to be able to pay for these 2 kids that we brought into the world. But it all works out in the end. The amazing thing is that it is a journey that you will, even at the age of 40, when someone asks you, was it worth it? If you're honest and you're not just having a bad day, you'll say, this is the best thing I've ever done in my entire life, because they give you great joy, great pain. And if you need a coffee break to go home and try it, that might be a good move too. Let's not go back to blue laws just to try to stop people from doing certain things so that we spend more time with each other. There we go. There's my father's story.
Nothing makes you prouder than watching your son score 7 goals against the special needs team.
That was a mistake. And by the way, as Rye told me the other day, Dad, you forgot to mention that we did leave at halftime.
Oh, that was generous.
If you missed it, I signed Lace and I signed him up for a soccer team, but we didn't bother reading. We're like, oh, look at that team's full, that's full, that team's full, this team's looking for players. Okay, let's just sign them up. And we paid the $60. We get out there and Rye is running around, and all the other kids seem to be not as interested in the sport, or anything else regarding reality. And then we realized, as we sort of looked out onto the field and saw the parents, we had signed our kid up for a special needs team. And most of the kids were somewhere on the spectrum, didn't really want to play soccer.
The goalie in a wheelchair should have given it away.
Rice said when they're... As Rice scored his 4th goal in the first 2 minutes, he looked over at us like, really? Is this it? As Rice said, I was the only kid that had a uniform on. And then we're like, okay. And then I said to Lace at halftime, okay, get some of those orange slices and let's get the hell out of here. And his parents would start to look at us.
Made a mistake.
Wrong team, everybody. Don't judge us. Don't judge us. Don't judge us. Get to the car. Get to the car. All righty. Who's in there? Yeah, Nate's in there. Thank you, Nathan. Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Thanks, John. South 5 heading into Seattle. We're heavy at 50th down to I-90 Linwood to Seattle, just under a 25-minute commute. In comparison, Linwood to Bellevue on 405, you're wide open. Once you get into Bellevue, though, South 405, we've got that usual mid-afternoon backup between 520 and the Renton Landing. We're up to 35 minutes between Bellevue and Renton. North 405 slows from South Center through the S-curve, South Center to Bellevue at 20 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way, we're approaching a 35-minute drive. It's slow from MLK Junior Way all the way to 516. If you're heading over to Tiger Mountain westbound on State Route 18, you've got a 2 to 3 mile solid backup heading up to the summit, starting near the Raging River. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is a 40-minute commute. It is packed south of State Route 18. And on the water, the Point Defiance Ferry Terminal has a 1-hour wait for drivers. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate Connors. Let's see. Part of your home isn't working. You're thinking, okay, what could they possibly be talking about? Oh, is this for Home Comfort Alliance? No. It's actually the part of the houses that aren't working are the things you probably don't think about until you go to try to either store something or find something, like the garage, which is supposed to maybe be a 2-car garage. Good for you. Good luck getting the car in there, because it just is a mess. Or maybe it's the pantry. You can't find anything because the pantry is not laid out correctly and there's not enough storage anywhere. And that's where Closets by Design come in. So imagine a barn, which is basically just a big, gigantic space, right? That's what we live in. So there was no place to store anything until Nick said, I want closets. So we got Closets by Design. Family owned, 22 years in the business. I love all this about them. They try to source all the material right here in the Pacific Northwest. They came in, Closets by Design, and gave us all the storage we wanted, and way beyond anything we imagined. And it didn't have a giant custom price. It was 40% off plus 15% off and 18 months, 0% financing. This is the way to go. Let's get the closet. Let's get the garage. Let's get everything to work right for you. Closets by Design. That's 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
The Seahawks sold.
Selling price will be an NFL record $9.612 billion, according to ESPN.
What do we know about the new owners?
Vinod Khosla grew up in India, removed from technology.
I never even had a television or a telephone at home.
Has invested in a ton of companies you know of, Square, DoorDash.
Coverage continues on the home of the Super Bowl champion Seahawks. KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM and mynorthwest.com.
Thinking about a new roof or exterior upgrade, but worried about the cost? This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We've created our summertime savings event to make it simple and affordable. Save up to $3,000 off your exterior project or get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. And every qualifying GAF roof is backed by our lifetime Golden Pledge warranty. One call gets you started. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
At Madrona Financial and CPAs, we believe there are 7 steps that must be taken in preparation for a successful retirement. Retirement needs more than just a basic income plan. Hi, Jeff here with Madrona Financial and CPAs. Don't settle for a partial plan. Get the real deal by requesting your no-cost Madrona analysis today and discover what you may be missing. Call 833-673-7373 right now to request your analysis. That's 833-673-7373.
More people on the roads means more accidents. And if you're not careful, you'll find yourself on the shoulder exchanging information. If you are one of the unlucky ones, reverse your fortune by calling Harold Carr Law Offices. While you're resting, Harold Carr Law Offices will deal with insurance and get you the best recovery possible. 7 locations across Western Washington and a track record of success for their clients. Carr spelled with 2 R's. C-A-R-R. CarLaw.com. C-A-R-R. Car accident? Call Carr.
Les Schwab Tires has been proudly serving communities for over 70 years, and we've collected thousands of inspiring stories. Like Kate, who was off on a long road trip with her best friend when the dash lit up like a game show. They find the nearest Les Schwab. Turns out they really needed an oil change. It was done in a flash. Road trip saved. At Les Schwab, we're proud to keep you rolling. Les Schwab Tires. Our greatest story is yours. Stories are composites inspired by real customer feedback.
If you're wearing glasses or contacts, but you need reading glasses or bifocals now, you need to join Drs. Kopstein and King for the K2 Vision RLE live webinar this Thursday at noon to learn about refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE. This free webinar is a perfect opportunity to meet the doctors and have them answer all your questions about K2 Vision RLE. Questions like, how much does RLE cost? Is financing available? Does insurance pay for RLE? These questions and lots more will be covered this Thursday at noon during the K2 Vision RLE free live webinar. K2 Vision surgeons have performed over 150,000 procedures. They know when RLE is right for you. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers. Plus, no more cataracts. Don't miss the free live webinar this Thursday at noon. Register at K2VisionRLE.com. K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
If your home is 20 years old or more, it might be time to have your roof checked. Your roof is your home's first line of defense, and at Guardian, we help it last as long as possible. That's why every new install comes protected with a full year of free maintenance on us. Visit us at GuardianRoofing.com.
When the heat's in 11,
cool AC would be heaven.
DayandNight.net. Stay cool this summer with a new AC or heat pump from Day and Night. And with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. Call us about installing a high-efficiency cooling system or servicing your existing one so you're cool when you need it.
Get a new AC or heat pump now from Day and Night to stay cool this summer. Plus, with installation, you'll get a free furnace.
DayandNight.net. The Seahawks sold.
Selling price will be an NFL record $9.612 billion, according to ESPN.
What do we know about the new owners?
Vinod Khosla grew up in India, removed from technology.
I never even had a television or a telephone at home.
Has invested in a ton of companies you know of, Square, DoorDash.
Coverage continues on the home of the Super Bowl champion Seahawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM and mynorthwest.com.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 206-529-1111 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
At 3:30, good afternoon. I'm Tim Hole. South Carolina's governor has named Senator Lindsey Graham's sister, Darlene, to serve what remains of his term after the senator died suddenly at his home in Washington, D.C. over the weekend. Graham had just won the state's Republican primary to run for re-election in November.
We will see a primary election, a special election, of course, in the state of South Carolina, and that person will decide who replaces Senator Graham as far as the Republican ticket goes for his previous re-election campaign, and that term will start in January.
It's ABC's Christian Cordero reporting from Washington. It's day one of the Albertsons pharmacy trial. Washington State's Attorney General is accusing the massive chain of not investigating obvious opioid pill diversion to the black market. Albertsons rejects those claims and says the state's own rules make it extremely difficult to deny prescriptions. Revive I-5 is back, and commuters this morning from the north were feeling the pain.
All at once seems a lot like stuff was put off till it had to be done and there was no choice. It's that happens.
He talked with KIRO 7 TV. The major construction project on I-5 near the Ship Canal Bridge is back in action following a month-long pause during World Cup. Just 2 northbound lanes are open on the main line. The express lanes will remain open northbound for the duration, which means delays southbound, especially during the morning drive. Seattle's transit future is on the clock. A council committee took public testimony earlier today on a proposed increase in the sales and use tax to fund bus service from 0.15% to 0.3%. Most of those who spoke want the full measure on the November 3rd ballot, but this man says it's a better idea to tax drivers to help pay for transit.
A tax on car usage itself would be a more equitable way to fund our transit system. Wealthy households own multiple cars. Drivers from the suburbs can be taxed when parking on our streets and in commercial lots.
The committee takes up amendments on Thursday with a full council vote possible next Tuesday. If passed, the tax would cost the average homeowner $58 per year. Microsoft says its carbon emissions increased 25% in 2025 as the company expanded AI data centers. The company says most of the increase came from building new data center infrastructure and from changes in how it accounts for renewable energy purchases. The company says it still plans to become carbon negative by the year 2030. The report comes as other tech companies also report rising emissions tied to AI growth. Google reporting an 18% increase, Amazon reporting 16%. And now from the real-time traffic desk, here's Nate.
Thanks, Tim. Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett, you're both pushing 50-minute commutes. Everett to Marysville, we're up to 20 minutes. We've got building volumes now between 526 and 528, and now northbound 529. You're bumper-to-bumper approaching the Union Slough into Marysville. Heading into Seattle, South 5, we're heavy now at Lake City Way to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, 25 minutes. North 5 is heavy between the West Seattle Bridge and the Columbia Tower. Both of our lake bridges are doing good. South 405 in Bellevue is backed up from 520 to the Renton Landing. It gets pretty heavy from mid-Bellevue down past Cold Creek Parkway. 35 minutes from Bellevue into Renton. Seattle to Federal Way, also a 35-minute drive. Your backup starts at MLK Junior Way. And Tacoma to Olympia doing pretty good at just 40 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Your forecast, mostly clear overnight after a spectacular Monday. Tonight's low 54, more sunshine tomorrow and 81. 83 with a few clouds on Wednesday. Then Thursday is our first chance of showers for the week. In the morning, though, with partly sunny skies returning by the afternoon and a high of 77. Seattle right now, sunny and 77. I'm Tim Hole, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Home Comfort Alliance. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. All taken care of for you with Home Comfort Alliance. HomeComfortAlliance.com. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. Thank you. 1-888-973-5476. And all of you more than welcome to be participating in the show in any way you'd like. And then, of course, all you YouTubers out there. Hey there, everybody.
Hey.
Hey, where? And one guy wrote, how come you don't throw papers at us anymore? All right, calm down.
I'm tired of missing.
Yeah. By the way, why is that pumpkin still not rotten? Isn't that amazing, that pumpkin over there?
I don't know if that is amazing or just an uncarved pumpkin just will last kind of indefinitely.
Oh, look at that, Joe. Write that down.
You're the pumpkin expert.
Well, I am now because Kevin, by the way, thank you very much for your update. I've been sending him video of the pumpkin that he sent me. Those of you who don't know, he spent $400 on a pumpkin seed that was the grandson of the pumpkin that grew to 2,970 some pounds.
Yes, the world champion.
Yes, and then he bestowed the pumpkin upon me, and then I had planted it, and then every day I'm out there like, come on, live up to your expectations. So Kevin's looking and he's like, most of those are male. You need some female, pumpkins starting to grow. They're all male on there. I don't know how you tell the difference between the two. So he's like telling me, hey, just don't water too much. Just some of the pollen sitting on there. Just don't overwater. God, it gets complicated. It's like he gave me his child. Out there watering his kid. What?
You gave one to somebody else.
Yeah, but the big one, the true grandson, or granddaughter, whatever it is.
Grandson, apparently.
I wake up this morning. I woke up at 4 o'clock. I'm out there. Oh my God, no bugs. All right.
It's okay. No matter what, it's going to be great.
Why recruiters can't find workers and new grads can't find jobs. It's not all AI. They're looking at, I assume part of the problem is where people are applying and what they're applying with. Because so many people now have college degrees, they're worthless. It's the old adage that if you went to a football game and the guys in the front row stood up to get a better view, or the guys in the one row stands up to get a better view, then you in the back, you have to stand up as well to see, till eventually everybody is standing up, and then there's no advantage to standing up. Same thing with college degrees. Everybody gets them. There's grade inflation, where the number of people that were getting A's was in the single digits, and now everybody gets A's. The colleges basically just want to keep you, stay there, continue to have indiscriminate sex, get drunk on Wednesdays, get drunk all the way through. Just, it's a big playground. And you can take really crappy, stupid classes, and then the employer goes to hire you, and, you've got a degree. Well, everybody else has a degree, and then they look at your grades, and your grades are way up there, too. It's worthless. So part of the problem being it's hard to find what's wrong. It's true.
It's just,
it's true, right?
That's part of the problem.
Yeah, that's it.
I think it's also and it's similar to your kind of down in front metaphor.
Yeah.
But what we're telling people to study over the past 10 to 15 years is all of a sudden becoming just a very less lucrative career, not even less lucrative, just a non-existent field.
Coders.
Coders and computer science.
Developers. Right, Steve Ballmer running around. Developers. Yeah.
So there's a little bit of that going on.
Yeah, now you got to quickly change and get into something else. The book that was written, I think, 15 years ago or something, they can't outsource my hammer. That is certainly true. They say eventually within, 20 years, 30, whatever, they'll have robots building everything. But if you just want to be able to have some job that will pay well, it was in 2009 when Barack Obama gave his one of his big speeches. He said, college for everybody. Everybody's going to go to college. We want everybody to go to college. The United States will lead the world in college graduates. By 2014, he changed the tune a little bit and then spent some of our money on various programs to get kids into this skill trades, which is great, but there's still not enough of them. It takes, on average, they say, to build homes, you need, right now, you need about 26 to 32 workers to build a home. 4 framers, 4 roofers, you need like 2 painters, it goes through the whole thing. A couple of sparky guys running electrical. But you need about 26 to 32 to build homes, and those people will get jobs. I looked up to see how it's going with plumbing, because being Irish, a lot of Irish people are also plumbers because they don't mind touching other people's body hair that's in a pipe. Did you know that about the Irish? Yeah.
No,
So in 2020, there were 463,860 plumbers, and then this is in the apprentice program. It went up to 55,000 in 2025. It's an increase of 21%, but still way down. Master plumbers, the average age is 54 years. So they said those guys are going to eventually, their knees give up, and then they get out, they stop. So there's still a dearth of people that are going to be plumbing, people that do framing, people that will just continue to build the houses. But if you get in there early enough, you make a pretty good career. You make a nice living, and you can make, $150 to $200 and some $1,000 a year doing the trades, skill work that was kind of pooped on for a long time. Now I think people are coming around to the idea of hey, this isn't a bad way to make a living. No,
in fact, you can make a great living, and probably go any number of different routes. If you start your own company, you could probably make $200,000-$300,000 a year. You go work for any union that has, really, really good benefits. Even do they still have pensions? Is that still a thing in the trades?
Yeah, I mean, in the unions.
Yeah.
You have to assume they've got, it's not the government pension.
No.
I don't have to check and see under the Master Builders Association.
Interesting.
I'm as mechanically inclined as a goat.
You and me both.
I'm so bad with all that stuff. But I think if my father had taught me some of those skills, I could at least have a few. And the most humiliating stuff is I'll come home and there'll be some guy there. And I'm going to go, hey, he goes, hey, Mr. Curley, how you doing? I go, great. What's going on? Your wife called me. She needs me to put this rack up. I'm like, the thing that was in the garage with the Phillips heads. Yeah, it fell off the wall a couple times. I was like, I did that. That was my work. I put that up there, and I'm paying this guy $300 to do some stupid job I should have been able to do.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. I've been in the same boat. And my dad was an engineer, mechanical engineer, was just handy in every facet, every trade, plumbing, electricity, carpentry, anything. I got none of that.
I know. I don't know how to work any of the tools, and I just hate the fact that I'm just fumbling around the whole time. And then
that's why you love your tractor so much.
Turned them on to Rye, and then Rye and I were working on some job together. They were like, make something up about Epson. The wrong tool for the wrong job. Just whatever the tool is, I'm like, that's good enough. Use that. Just bang that onto the thing and try to drive it in there some other way.
We'll hire a professional in a few months.
And then some guy comes by and he's like, like the time my buddy and I built a deck. Oh my God.
That's a bold project.
I should tell you. I'll tell you that story at some point, maybe a little later on. But here comes Nate checking traffic. Nate, hi.
Thanks, John. Subaru of Puyallup has our update. South 5 into Seattle. We're heavy from Lake City Way to I-90. Got a new collision partially blocking the on-ramp from Boylston Avenue. Highway 99, we're looking good this afternoon through downtown Seattle if you want to consider that as an alternate route. South 405 is struggling from 520 all the way to Northeast 44th at the VMAC. Bellevue to Renton, a half hour. North 405 slows through South Center, from South Center through the S-curves. South Center to Bellevue has gone up a bit to 25 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, we're pushing 45 minutes. Now you're crowded from Renton into Kent and then bumper-to-bumper volumes between Algona and Sumner. Both directions of I-5 are crowded between the Fife Curve and State Route 18, and both directions of I-5 have scattered slowing through the length of South Tacoma. Subaru Puyallup has dependable, fuel-efficient, all-wheel drive models, including the redesigned Subaru Outback. Find stress-free pricing and offers at SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Dear Ursula, I have a group of friends who have bonded over...
Hi, I'm Ursula Voitin from the G and Ursula Show, and I'm launching a new podcast called Ask Ursula. This is your space. Real life, real questions, whether it's about family, friendships, love, and yes, even the fun stuff like travel and finding your signature scent. Hit me up and ask your questions at mynorthwest.com/Ursula. I look forward to connecting with you.
At mynorthwest.com and the G and Ursula YouTube channel.
Eric Johnson here. I covered a lot of accidents over the past 30 years or so, but I never got to say much about what to do after a crash. Be honest, do you know what evidence to collect, what pictures to take, what documents to request, or what you shouldn't say to your insurance company? The Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the roads throw at them. Know your rights and how to avoid common mistakes after an accident by getting your free copy at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
On BritBox, there is a place where stories twist like cobblestone roads, grand manners hide secrets, and stakes are higher than seaside cliffs. Find places worth getting lost in on BritBox. Watch new series like The Other Bennett Sister from the world of Jane Austen and A Woman of Substance starring Golden Globe winner Brenda Blethyn. If you want to get away, you're in the right place. Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Free trial at BritBox.com.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
I had pain. I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it today at carsforkids.org. Your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call 1-877-CARS4KIDS to donate your car today. That's Cars with a K.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
We'll hold that other story on the, was it 1 out of 5 people?
1 out of 5 people who claim this are lying.
Eddie Sissons syndrome.
That's right.
I tried to find somebody that lied about it and got caught, but I can't find anybody. But 1 out of 5 of us guys are doing this. Are they still doing the lying?
If you make this claim,
yeah,
odds are 20% that you're lying.
All right. That's in a second. But first, I talked about how mechanically uninclined I am. I got a friend of mine who is pretty good about building stuff. So one day when we had this house in Queen Anne, he came by and said he would help build a deck in the backyard. So we start out with, I think it was half a rack
of lamb?
Of beer.
Oh.
And then after about, 10 beers in, after he has taken all the safety stuff off of he's got this electric saw thing he's using, like it's a framing saw, okay, right? But it's got safety stuff on it. He's taken all that off because it slows him down. He's now holding up a piece of like a 2x4 and just with his right hand and then cutting it with the framing saw just off the thing, and then throwing it to me to put it into the place where he wants it. We then get to a weird angle and we can't figure out how to make it all work. So we just get a bag of concrete and pour it into this hole and then pour water on top of it. So you can imagine how bad it was getting. And by the way, every beer we'd finish, we'd throw the bottle into the pile of wood that was now going to be covered with the deck. So we figured all of our evidence would be gone forever, right? It'd be like 50 years later, they would tear it up. Well, as it turns out, I run into these guys, some other construction workers that are over at some apartment building. And the one guy goes, "Hey, are you John Curley?" I said, "Yeah." "Did you have a house over on," at this point I'm like, "Oh my God." He goes, "Do you have a house on Warren Avenue?" I said, "Yeah." "Yeah, we went over there. We put a new deck on." I said, "A new deck? I put that deck on before I sold it." He goes, "That was you? Hold on. Hey, guys, come here. This is the guy that built that deck." I was like, "It wasn't me. I swear I was just helping out." They're like, "It was unbelievable. We pulled the tops off," and every guy would have a different story. There was like, "You guys poured like a bag of concrete like down into this hole." I mean, the angles were so weird, and then you had like 50 nails into this one board. We tore it all up, and everything we pulled out, we were like, "Check this out. Look at this cut. Look at this. Look at this." And we found like a case of beer underneath the deck. I was like, "Yeah, well, wasn't that bad once you put the wood on top." The guy's like, "Oh my God, we had such a great time. We couldn't wait to tear the boards up so we could see the kind of crappy job you did." I was like, "Thanks a lot. Bye-bye."
How could they possibly have known?
I mean, it just happened to work out. They were over at some apartment building. They were working on some deckers doing some construction there.
And so whoever you sold it to had said, "Oh yeah, this is John
whoever we
Curtis."
sold it to, they didn't like the deck. How we put the deck and we built the deck so that also in the middle of it, this is why it was harder. In the middle of it, we put a sandbox for the kids. So we had like certain area cut out. And I guess the new buyer's like, "I don't need a sandbox for the kids." So tear up that deck, put a new deck in, and then there you go.
You never had it inspected along the way?
Inspected? We didn't have a building permit to put a deck on, Nate.
Well, there you go.
We don't want them looking at it. Oh, God.
Sandbox?
Highly illegal.
What is that going to last you, like a year?
No, it was fine. What do you mean? It's like we built it into the deck.
Yeah, but the kids will outgrow that.
That's what I say to you. Here comes Nate checking traffic.
All right, South 5 heading into Seattle. We are jam-packed from 85th down to I-90. We're up to a half-hour commute from Linwood. We did clear our collision off the Boylston Avenue on-ramp. North 5, just past Mercer, we've got a stall blocking that left center lane. The backup isn't that bad. It's slow from I-90 to the scene, but not real heavy. Our Lake Bridges, you're wide open. Seattle to Everett, Bellevue to Everett are both 50-minute commutes. South 405 in Bellevue is still real hefty from 520 all the way down to the VMAC. It's 35 minutes from Bellevue to Renton. Seattle to Federal Way, a half-hour commute. You're slow from MLK Junior Way all the way to 516. And really, outside of that, we're looking pretty good out there. No surprises. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, all you folks that have got a bad elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, shoulder, whatever kind of joint that's supposed to be working is not working. For me, it was a bad hip. I got the solution for you. And I found out personally that this is the guy to go to, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. So if you're thinking about surgery, before you do that, you already know, maybe you've had the diagnosis. Someone looked at your x-rays and MRIs and said, man, your knees are in bad shape, or your ankle needs to be fused, or we got to do something about your shoulder. Hold on, everybody. Hang on. Do what I did. Go see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Wonderful office, very nice people, and you meet with the man himself. He's done 20,000 stem cell procedures using your own stem cells. So I'm 64 years old. I said, how many? He goes, we'll probably get about 600 billion from you. I was like, whoa. And they add a little bit of your fat in there. They spin it down, inject it right into the joint. And you know what happens? Within a few weeks, you start to feel better. And then you start to feel even more better. And then the shoulder is better, and the ankle, the wrist, the knee, whatever is bothering you. You have had a stem cell procedure from Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, and you are one more success story. DrMarkWagnerMD.com. That's DrMarkWagnerMD.com.
The Seahawks sold.
Selling price will be an NFL record $9.612 billion, according to ESPN.
What do we know about the new owners?
Vinod Khosla grew up in India, removed from technology.
I never even had a television or a telephone at home.
Was invested in a ton of companies you know of, Square, DoorDash.
Coverage continues on the home of the Super Bowl champion Seahawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM and MyNorthwest.com.
Spike O'Neill here. If your loved one's caregiver is planning a vacation or just needs a break, why not consider Aegis Living Respite Care? A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Aegis Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to aegisliving.com/spike to schedule a visit today.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Have something to say? We'd love to hear it. Text KIRO News Radio at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Les Schwab Tires has always believed that taking care of people is the right thing to do. Today, that means more than trusted service. It means delivering real value, too. That's why we're lowering prices on hundreds of tires without changing the service and expertise you've always counted on. Consumer Reports named Les Schwab the best tire retailer for 2026. We'll keep working every day to earn your trust. See leschwab.com for details.
A riddle brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? Progressive protects them both. It was an easy riddle. Learn more at Progressive.com.
KIRO News Radio.
Get on the YouTube channel.
We're live all day on YouTube. Every show, every day.
Hang out with us. The whole gang's there.
And you never know what you might see.
Back up the camera. Oh, my God.
Just search KIRO News Radio, then subscribe.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. In Mississippi, the investigation continues into the death of Nolan Wells during a holiday boat trip to Horn Island. His friend, Trayston Shepard, now speaking out. ABC's Aaron Katursky is in Ocean Springs.
Shepard says he took a boat back from Horn Island in the late afternoon, but Wells stayed behind with a girl he had met.
They met that day, and it was kind of one of those things. He did come off that day that he really did like her, but that was the only time they've ever hung out was at Horn Island on July 4th.
Investigators believe Wells drowned and say there were no immediate signs of foul play.
The U.S. says it's carrying out a third day of strikes against Iranian targets. It follows an escalation in the region. Iran and the U.S. now reinstating blockades in the Strait of Hormuz. The sister of the late Senator Lindsey Graham, now appointed to serve out the remainder of his term. Senate colleagues today honoring Graham with speeches, his desk now draped in black with a vase of white flowers on top. This is ABC News.
Update on the flooding in Missouri. The National Guard now saying it rescued more than 300 people on Friday. We know it gets hot in July, but 100 in International Falls, Minnesota, up there on the U.S.-Canadian border. That's tomorrow's forecast. It would be the first 100-degree day there in 103 years. Extreme heat warnings stretch all the way west to Utah. People who vape are joining the elderly in being most at risk for Legionnaire's disease, says New York City Health Commissioner Dr. Alistair Martin.
And when you catch a case early of Legionnaire's disease, you can actually treat this fairly straightforwardly. And we're seeing that folks, when caught early, are making it through.
46 people who caught Legionnaire's disease on the Upper East Side of Manhattan are, many of them out of the hospital. No one has died. 180 cooling towers in New York City are being tested for the Legionella bacteria to see if that is what's making people sick across that part of Manhattan. I'm Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
At 4:02, no felony charges for the man accused of trying to snatch a baby at Pike Place Market. Details coming up, but first, real-time traffic with Nate.
Hey, thanks, Tim. This one brought to us by Harborstone Credit Union. Everett to Marysville. Plan on a 20-minute trip this afternoon. We've got a typical backup between 526 and 528. And northbound 529, we're bumper to bumper now from the Snohomish River Bridge into Marysville. Seattle to Everett, a 50-minute commute. You're slow from Northgate into Mill Creek. Bellevue to Everett, pushing 55 minutes. We're slow from Bellevue through Totem Lake, and then you clear out pretty quickly there. South 5 into Seattle, jam-packed from 85th to I-90. 35 minutes now from Linwood into downtown. North 5, just past Mercer, we're dealing with a stalled vehicle blocking your left center lane. You're backed up through downtown. South 405 is heavy from 520 all the way to the Renton Landing. 35 minutes now from Bellevue to Renton. North 405 slows from South Center through the S-curves. Seattle to Federal Way, a half-hour commute. Stop and go now from MLK Junior Way down to 516, and Renton to Puyallup. Give yourself about 45 minutes. The north end, we're doing good. It's the south end that's pretty packed from State Route 18 into Puyallup. Earn up to $30 a month just for using your Harborstone PNW Cashback debit card. Open your free checking account online today at harborstone.com/cash. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Tim Hole. A man accused of trying to kidnap a baby at Pike Place Market last week will not face felony charges. The King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office says detectives determined the case did not meet felony filing standards and are now referring it to the Seattle City Attorney's Office for possible misdemeanor charges. At last check, the suspect, who has not been named, was being held on $100,000 bail. In Portland, a 31-year-old man is jailed after police say he tried to kidnap a 7-year-old girl at that city's waterfront park. Police say the man grabbed the girl's arms and tried to pull her away from her mother. The child's father and several bystanders stepped in and stopped him. Officers later arrested the suspect after finding him swimming in the Willamette River. Daniel Vasey faces multiple charges, including attempted kidnapping. A 6-year-old boy has died after being crushed by a falling log in Whatcom County. The Bellingham Herald reports Killian Gonzalez suffered severe head injuries and a collapsed lung after a log fell on him while he played in a driftwood fort at Little Squalicum Beach. He died over the weekend at Harborview. A GoFundMe for the family has raised more than $47,000. An anonymous donor will cover funeral expenses. Evacuation orders have been lifted near Lake Chelan. Crews have fully contained the 35-acre transfer fire, which burned heavy brush near Lake Chelan Health Hospital. No one was hurt. It's the story everyone's talking about today. The Washington man who suffered broken bones when he was attacked by a bison in Yellowstone National Park. The encounter captured on video.
The bison tossing 65-year-old Carl McDaniel in the air, which looks like some 8 to 10 feet. This happened at a campground about 8:30 at night just this past Friday. It looks like he was taking photos of the bison from a long distance away with one of his grandchildren by his side. The photographer that captured the attack on video, Mike McLeod, talked with KTVQ in Montana.
They were doing the right thing. They just bad luck.
Carl is a community leader from Whatcom County who serves on several boards, apparently, including the Foothills Community Alliance and the Columbia Valley Water and Parks District, according to the Cascadia Daily News.
KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey reports McDaniel is in stable condition. The bison attack is the second in 2 weeks. Back on June 26th, the 12-year-old visitor was attacked by a bison, which also resulted in hospitalization, according to the National Park Service. And a statement from the Park Service reminds visitors that wild animals can be aggressive when people do not respect their space, and warned that bison have injured more people in Yellowstone than any other animal. Your forecast, mostly clear overnight with a low of 54. Plenty of sunshine again tomorrow. 81, 83 on Wednesday. Thursday, chance of showers in the morning, but the sunshine returns by the afternoon with a high of 77. Right now, Seattle, sunny and 77. I'm Tim Hole, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Yeah, here we go with the John Curley Show. Is Rye really coming on? Did you get him to write you back?
He did.
Was it 4 days ago or 3 days ago, the Wall Street Journal had a feature talking to the guy that just bought the Seahawks. And we grabbed some of those cuts. We didn't know he was the guy who's going to buy the Seahawks.
No, we didn't.
But after what we learned about him, I was like, how about that? I like this guy.
Yeah.
I think it'll work out for him. I was talking to a guy over the weekend. He said, as long as he's a hands-off owner, we don't want anybody up there, in the skybox with a headset on. No. Just let them do their thing. Lindsey Graham speaks to the president at 7 o'clock at night after returning home from Ukraine, and an hour later, 911 is called. Medics get to the house, and Lindsey Graham has succumbed to a heart attack. He's 71 years old. And now all these conspiracy theories are flying all over the place, and within 0.2 of a second, right after the word got out that Lindsey Graham had died. Yeah, good. I'm glad he's dead. It's like, okay. And the conspiracy theories, for whatever they're worth, not much other than great radio talk. Here's what they think. In 2023, Russia said, we have put Lindsey Graham on our wanted list. We want him dead. Graham said it was a badge of honor and said, well, then I will tell Putin I'll meet him at The Hague. And he kind of liked the fact that he was on the kill list by Russia. So we know Putin kills people. I mean, he helps them accidentally fall out windows or drink poisonous tea and stuff like that. So now everybody's thinking, oh, It was the Russians hit him with some sort of weird thingamajigger, and Graham was dead there. Got him on the plane and brought him home. I mean, you're going to have so many people in a conspiracy theory to like how they move his body. Is everybody lying? Who knows? Blah, blah, blah. We do know that his father died of a heart attack. Lindsay was 21 years old. He was in college, first one in his family to go to college. His mother and father passed away. His dad was a bar owner. He died of a heart attack, I think, at the age of like 63 or something like that. So genetically, you could say bad tickers run in the family. Lindsay then legally adopts his sister. He's got a brother as well. He raises the kids. He then ends up going in the military. He is a JAG officer, right? So he's an attorney working there with the Air Force. He is elected to the State House in 1992. 94, he becomes U.S. representative. By 2002, he is a U.S. senator, known as a hawk. Big on America, strong defense, big supporter for Israel, hated Russia, didn't like what Russia was doing in the Ukraine. And that's Lindsey Graham's, the knocks against him are that he was too willing and too fast to go to war. Right? You're probably backing up people on that one, right, Joe? You know, like
that he was.
You don't like him being a hawk.
Oh no, not at all.
Okay,
but are we done with the conspiracies?
No, he's going to throw. Is this Alex Jones?
It's a little bit of Alex Jones talking about it.
You want to admit that you're the number one senator proponent of Ukraine died in Ukraine in the aftermath of Russian military strikes? Well, that doesn't fit the narrative too well. All I can tell you is I've also heard from people who had access to the Pentagon, to generals in the command center, National Military Command Center. They were walking around talking today saying he died in Kiev. Why would Graham fly 20 hours, fly and take a train for 20 plus hours to do just a tour of a drone factory, and then the next morning get back up and repeat that whole 21 hour journey?
And this is supposedly
Okay, always prepare for Alex Jones's voice.
Lindsey Graham at the hospital. Footage of some ambulances at a hospital saying it's Lindsey Graham is no proof at all. Trump saying he got a call from Lindsey Graham right before he died of a heart attack Saturday night is no proof at all. I don't think Trump's that level of a liar. He certainly spins things now. He used to be very accurate. But you can easily, again, call somebody with a fake AI call. That's been going on for many years now.
Oh, boy.
Where they'll record a girl that's on YouTube who's 10 years old.
Anymore of that.
All right, okay,
but here's the weirdest part. And I don't understand like what the advantage of or why it would be so bad if he did die in Ukraine. I don't see how that. I just don't get it yet. But I haven't read much about it. But it is weird that hours after he visits this drone factory, it gets blown up. And that is a fact.
Yeah, it is fact.
Yeah. It's just very odd timing.
So Russia could know he was at the drone factory.
Right.
You saying he got killed at the drone factory?
I would say if Russia bombed the drone factory, and they did, this drone factory he visited, there's pictures of him in hours before it got blown up.
Yeah.
If he visited that drone factory and they just missed him by a couple of hours, but then he happens to die right when he gets home, that doesn't make it. That's too weird to make any kind of sense.
Okay, so this goes in the list with all the other conspiracy theories and stuff. How about we just talk about real life for a moment? What we do know. Lindsey Graham, this was a congressional hearing, Senate congressional hearing. They had Horowitz. Remember Horowitz was hired to look at Operation Crossfire. Find out if anybody in the Department of Justice, the Attorney General's office, the White House was involved in setting up and basically creating an entire Russia hoax to make it seem like Russia wanted Trump to be elected and the Steele dossier and all this other stuff. So I think this was this 2019 when he was there talking, or is this 2017? 2019? 19. So I like this. This happened in 2019. This is Lindsey Graham. He spent 45 minutes before they talked to Horowitz. And I grabbed some of the cuts from this thing. When I was doing the show with Tom, I played some of this, and Tom wasn't a big supporter for all this. But I liked Lindsey Graham as he basically just laid it all out as to why all of the people, and he still wanted to find out how high up did it go. Was it the Obama folks? Was it the Department of Justice? Is FBI? Was it Comey, McCabe? Who knew that all this Russian stuff was all garbage. So here are the cuts from that 45 minutes of narrow it all down. Here we go. So here's Graham launching in.
In December of 2016, John McCain goes to a national security conference in Canada, and somebody tells him about the Steele dossier, and it's bad and you need to know about it, and it gets to John McCain. John McCain puts it in his safe. He gives it to me, and I read it. And the first thing I thought of was, oh, my God. One of two things. This could be Russian disinformation, or they may have something on Trump. If you read this document, the first thing you would think of is they got something on Donald Trump. It is stunning, it is damning, it is salacious, and it's a bunch of crap.
Remember the Steele dossier, right? Oh, the golden shower and all this other stuff, right? So then he finds out. So then Graham's looking at who is Christopher Steele and where this document came from that started all of the FISA court investigation, spying on members of Trump's campaign.
If you'd spend 30 minutes looking at Christopher Steele, you would understand this guy is biased. He's got an axe to grind. He's on the payroll of the opposing party. Take anything he says with a grain of salt.
Yeah, big grain of salt. And then he says...
So in January 2017, the person who did all the assembling of the information for the now famous Steele dossier tells the FBI, I disavow everything in there. Now, what should happen? Time out. Let's reassess. Maybe we got this wrong. What would you hope to happen? That the FBI would slow down? Because this is the outcome determinative document that's just had a hole blown through it. They don't slow down. They use the document they now know to be a bunch of garbage twice more to get a warrant against Carter Page. I hope Carter Page gets a lawyer and sues the hell out of the Department of Justice and the FBI.
Two final cuts here. He knew it wasn't true. They knew it wasn't true.
You knew in January 2017, if there was no doubt before, you know by the guy who prepared it that he disavowed everything. It's not true. It's a grain of salt. You shouldn't. I didn't say all these things. Instead of stopping, they keep going. And instead of telling the court the truth, what they're required to do, they lie to the court.
Yeah. Graham laid it all out there. The media kind of ignored a lot of it, but basically, I don't know where it finally ended up going. And Grassley tried to continue to investigate, but then statute of limitations wears out on the thing. You had a bunch of garbage brought forward by the Democratic committee. They then give it to the FISA court. They lie to the FISA court. Thank you. What's the guy's name? Kenneth Kleinsmith, right? Is it Kleinsmith? Yeah. He lies to the court, says, oh, yeah, ignore that. And then they continued to investigate. And they, did everything to try to screw Trump over in his first term. Oh, what does it matter? Then his other one, this was with Kavanaugh. Here's Lindsey Graham outraged and losing his cool.
Are you aware that at 9:23 on the night of July the 9th, the day you were nominated to the Supreme Court by President Trump, Senator Schumer said, 23 minutes after your nomination, I will oppose Judge Kavanaugh's nomination with everything I have. I have a bipartisan, and I hope a bipartisan majority will do the same. The stakes are simply too high for anything less. Well, if you weren't aware of it, you are now. Did you meet with Senator Dianne Feinstein on August 20th?
I did meet with Senator Feinstein.
Did you know that her staff had already recommended a lawyer to Dr. Ford?
Remember Ford? Miss Ford? She was the one that said in high school he did these things to me at this party, but nobody could back it all up. Remember that? And she came forward and big tearful thing, and then all women are to be believed.
I did not know that.
Did you know that her and her staff had this allegations for over 20 days?
I did not know that at the time.
If you wanted an FBI investigation, you could have come to us. What you want to do is destroy this guy's life, hold this seat open, and hope you win in 2020. You've said that, not me. You've got nothing to apologize for.
When you see Sotomayor and Kagan, tell them that Lindsay said hello, because I voted for them. I would never do to them what you've done to this guy. This is the most unethical sham since I've been in politics. And if you really wanted to know the truth, you sure as hell wouldn't have done what you've done to this guy. Are you a gang rapist?
No.
I cannot imagine what you and your family have gone through. Boy, y'all want power. God, I hope you never get it. I hope the American people can see through this sham, that you knew about it and you held it. You had no intention of protecting Dr. Ford. None. She's as much of a victim as you are. God, I hate to say it, because these have been my friends. But let me tell you, when it comes to this, you're looking for a fair process. You came to the wrong town at the wrong time, my friend.
Graham was sort of a holdover from when they used to still talk to each other, and you could look across the aisle and say, oh, that person's a friend of mine. I enjoyed spending time with him. Even when he was tearing apart the Steele dossier, he said the danger is, and I would hate, there's people on the other side, on my side, I would hate to have them investigate me the way they were investigating. Basically saying somebody on the right side, the Republican side, might do the same thing that they did to Trump, by having the Department of Justice and the FBI cook up a bunch of stuff and then lie to a FISA court. So he knew that both sides could be equally guilty of, really treacherous partisan work, and it outraged him.
He doesn't come off as just like completely performative, like he's acting to you.
I mean, there's always some performance when you're in front of the mic.
Yeah.
What, you think it's fake?
I think it's fake.
Well, you don't think the outrage is real?
Absolutely not.
Really? You don't believe that he's upset that Kavanaugh was getting screwed over and that Steele stuff was garbage?
I think he's hammering it up. I think the Steele stuff, they knew that everything, the Epstein playbook spells it out perfectly.
Oh, here we go.
You put out something that is completely outrageous, and you put out enough sources that will verify it, so somebody can run to it and say, "Look what fell in our lap." But you know all the while that it's not true. So when they do finally investigate it, you come out looking like an idiot. Meanwhile, the worst stuff is hidden away and being facilitated by a totally different country.
I get it, but just if you really want to just talk about the Steele dossier, who paid for it? Who pushed it? They knew it wasn't true. They lied to the FISA court. Kevin Kleinsmith lies to the court to keep the warrants going on American citizens. And the whole thing just goes, and then anybody found? No, Kleinsmith gets it like time served and then some community service, and the judge apologizes to him. It's the abuse of the FISA court and the use of the Steele dossier. And then how... was it the New York Times won a Pulitzer Prize for the thing? They should have recalled that, because the whole thing was garbage based upon just all garbage, to be able to say that, Trump was influenced by Russia and they had him. And this thing ended up being a giant, black cloud hanging over him for the first term.
Yeah, who would have thought reality would have been so much worse?
Well, bring the evidence forward, Joe.
A golden shower? That's small potatoes.
Right. Well, find the other stuff.
I've seen it.
Bring it forward. Mitch McConnell's alive.
There have been a lot of swirling questions over his absence this last month, and we had not heard a single thing. And then suddenly, in the hours after Senator Graham's passing, we got an update. Take a look here. Apparently, the 84-year-old Kentucky Republican fell. His office shared this photo online here, and that fall is what put him in the hospital. He said, quote, "My doctors have confirmed I didn't break any bones or suffer a concussion. I didn't have a heart attack or a stroke. I don't have any tumors or hemorrhages, but I was briefly unconscious and taken to the hospital." While receiving care, he says he also got pneumonia, and he says he's been removed to a rehab facility since then. Now, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott says that he spoke with McConnell, sharing that update on CNN in the wake of Graham's death.
Senator McConnell deserves our prayers. He served our country valiantly and continues to be in good spirits from all that I've heard. I texted him over the weekend. I will simply say that...
What?
A text?
So Mitch McConnell's dead too, and all these pictures are AI?
You can do better than just holding a newspaper up and taking a photo. Say something.
The average age of a U.S. senator is 64 years old. The median age is 60. Median age is 64 as well. These guys are old.
They're old. But why?
But the other conspiracy is that that's not that Mitch McConnell's dead and it's all AI.
Yeah, the photo is not holding up to scrutiny. Come on.
Hey,
come on, guys. What are
look
we
at
doing
you.
here?
Sitting here next to Alex Jones II.
Come on, guys. Just say something into a microphone.
Okay.
Turn your video camera on.
All right, let's go to something real.
Okay.
Traffic.
That's right.
With Nate.
Thank you, Johnny. Subaru of Puyallup got the update. Seattle to Everett, a 15-minute commute. You're slow from Northgate through Mill Creek. Bellevue to Everett, we're pushing an hour. It's slow from Bellevue through Totem Lake. And then just minor scattered slowing from Bothell up into Alderwood. So South 5 into Seattle is slowly improved, but it's still packed from Lake City Way to I-90. Half hour from Linwood in the downtown. Southbound 99 is now heavy approaching the Aurora Bridge into the downtown tunnel. North 5, stop and go between the West Seattle Bridge and 520. A reminder, 2 right lanes are blocked on the Ship Canal Bridge for Revive I-5. This has the Harvard Avenue on-ramp closed through mid-October. Seattle to Federal Way, a half hour. Scattered backups from Interurban Avenue to 516. And Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, a 40-minute drive. You're crowded through the north end and then south of State Route 18. It's stop and go all the way into Puyallup. Subaru of Puyallup has dependable, fuel-efficient, all-wheel drive models, including the redesigned Subaru Outback. Find stress-free pricing and offers at SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Subscribe to the G and Ursula Show on YouTube and watch live or later.
This was a massive moment.
First, let me ask a question. Have you ever had gumbo?
Yes. Goodness.
All different flavors. To goodness. That's what 6 matches here. Everything around the stadium, something you can tell us about as well, you around the stadium, has been nothing but a big old pot of gumbo.
G and Ursula, 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, better get 30, better get 20, 20, 20, better get 20, 20, better get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month. Sold!
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Buckle up. It's going to be a hot summer. And if you have poor or no insulation in your attic, you could be losing up to 40% of your energy efficiency. Fortunately, Valentine Roofing has you covered. This summer, bundle energy-saving attic insulation with a new roof and save 10%. Plus, with no money down on your project, you don't pay until your project is complete. Call 206 Roofing to save 10% when you bundle a new roof and attic insulation. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just one dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Spike and the Impalers are playing a free cookout, and we would love for you to join us. Saturday, July 18th at 1 o'clock at Aegis Living in Ballard. Great food is a founding principle at Aegis Living, and their chefs from all around the Northwest will be on hand to prepare their best for you. And Aegis Living President Chef Dirk and I are having a fun little cook-off to showcase our favorite recipes. There'll be free food and wine tastings, $2,000 in raffle prizes, and a rooftop performance from Spike and the Impalers. That's Saturday, July 18th at 1 o'clock at Aegis Living in Ballard. RSVP today at aegisliving.com/KIRO.
Say goodbye to clogged gutters and climbing ladders. With K-Guard by Guardian, leaves stay out, water flows freely, and your home stays protected year-round. Enjoy true peace of mind. No maintenance and no rust. Choose from a variety of colors to match your home's look and boost your curb appeal. Ready for hassle-free gutters? Protect what matters most with Guardian, the original make your roof last company. Visit GuardianRoofing.com to learn more.
Looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get the same breakthrough one-day treatment I received at Advanced Hair during their once-yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during their best offer of the year. For details and a free consultation, call 425-449-8185, advancedhair.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
At 4:30, good afternoon, I'm Tim Hull. Protests in Maine after an ICE agent shot and killed a 26-year-old Colombian man during an immigration operation. Federal officials say the man drove his car toward agents after trying to run. Witnesses dispute that account. The FBI and Maine Attorney General's office are investigating.
I don't know what he did, but he didn't deserve to be executed in the street.
The man was not the original target of the operation, according to Maine Senator Angus King. The shooting comes less than a week after another fatal ICE shooting in Texas. Crime is down 21% in Federal Way in 2026 compared to where it was this time last year.
Motor vehicle theft dropped 54%, residential burglary 51%, and murder was down 43% in the first 6 months of the year. The city is now on pace for a third straight year of double-digit crime reductions. Federal Way Mayor Jim Farrell credits data-driven policing and community partnerships. Within weeks, the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs is expected to release statewide crime numbers. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Also on the crime beat, 6 more organized retail theft suspects arraigned today in King County Court, the second wave in as many weeks. Casey McNerthney at the King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office tells Seattle's Morning News the suspects hit stores like Nordstrom, Target, and Safeway.
These are different than regular shoplifting cases because those are much more common. Those are handled at the city level by law. But these are the ones where you have people over and over and over going to stores.
According to a Forbes study, Washington ranks #1 in the nation for retail crime. Kroger has already shut Fred Meyer locations in Everett and Kent, partly blaming theft. 911 audio obtained by the Tacoma News Tribune tells a different story than the one shared by Pierce County Sheriff Keith Swank last month. Swank says he called because a woman called 911 because she disagreed with him and his supporters at a Charter Review Committee meeting. But the recording captures a woman who says she feels threatened after a confrontation with another woman. And also on the call,
Somebody's listening in. Somebody's listening in and taking notes.
From where?
From in the hallway over here. There's some woman who's taking notes, standing there listening to me. And I think she's with Sheriff Swank's people.
Sheriff Swank tells the Jason Rant Show on Seattle Red 770 AM the News Tribune got the story wrong.
They're just going after me because they didn't beat me at the ballot box. They want to try to remove me from office so they can have a token sheriff in here that will, think like they do and behave like they want them to behave.
Tacoma police found no criminal threats and escorted the woman to her car. The next legislative session is months away, but Governor Bob Ferguson has already submitted his first policy proposal. He wants to change high school graduation requirements to mandate filling out the FAFSA, Federal Financial Assistance Form. He says states and even Washington school districts that require it already see a huge boost in completion rates.
So we know that if it's required, the results are there. And the results are there, as you're going to hear from the other speakers, good things happen because young people have greater opportunities to pursue their passion.
And Ferguson says Washington high school students shouldn't have to leave college money on the table. At 4:34, let's go to our real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate.
Thanks, Tim. KIRO Newsradio App has the update. We've got a new collision down in Lakewood, North 5 at South Tacoma Way. It's a crash involving a semi. It left the freeway and is now stuck up on the hill there in the ditch. Multiple lanes are blocked here. Only one lane is getting through, and your bumper-to-bumper backup starts at Gravely Lake Drive. Right now, Olympia to Tacoma, 35 minutes. Obviously, this is going to start to spike exponentially. Federal Way to Tacoma, less than 20 minutes. You're slow from State Route 18 to 54th in Fife. South 5 into Seattle, it's bumper to bumper from Lake City Way to I-90. Half hour from Linwood into downtown. Southbound 99, heavy from the Aurora Bridge to the stadiums. Northbound 99 is now heavy about midway into that downtown tunnel up to about mid-Lake Union. Northbound I-5, stop and go from the West Seattle Bridge up to 520. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeways, a 40-minute drive. And westbound 18 is about a 2 to 3 mile solid backup heading up the summit. This report brought to you by KIRO Newsradio App. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the app, listen to your favorite shows, and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Your forecast, partly cloudy overnight tonight with a low of 56. Then looking at sunshine tomorrow and a high around 80. Could be 82 or 83 on Wednesday, but chance of showers works its way back into the forecast on Thursday, but partly sunny by the afternoon. Right now, 77 in Seattle. I'm Tim Hull, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
It starts on your street, in your home, with a problem you're struggling to solve. That's where KIRO 7 Investigates comes in. They show up, they ask hard questions, they get you answers. When your story is seen, change isn't just possible, it's already happening. Watch KIRO 7 News weeknights 5 to 6:30 p.m. and at KIRO7.com/investigates.
Well said, well read, Joe. Bucky's Auto Service Centers, they've got 16 locations. 51 years of outstanding service, that's Bucky. Bucky's Auto Service Centers. I had a chance to spend some time in Nate's car today because that's right, my battery died, and then Nate let me drive his car. Beautiful car, by the way.
Oh. Thank you.
They did a great job on that car.
Still smell like smoke?
Huh?
Still smell like smoke?
Nope. But it's really clean.
Oh, really?
But let me call you out on this one, Nate.
Yes, sir.
I happened to notice while I was driving over the apartment that it was a short drive, but checked your settings on your radio.
Yes, sir. What'd you find?
No KIRO.
Oh, come on.
Did you check all the presets?
Yeah, you didn't check them all.
No, I didn't check them all, but the ones like the 4 that pop
1, 2,
up, right?
3, because if you're a P1, that means you're
no, but I came
one.
on some other radio station, and then you could see the ones that were also there illuminated.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you what happened. As I was pulling into work, I was pulling in during a commercial break, and so that's during commercials is when I switch around the dial.
You shouldn't do that because those commercials that feeds the. Hold on, Teeny, hang on,
Teeny. I understand. I appreciate the commercials, but you see, I hear them a lot during our shift.
Can't hear them enough.
Okay, good point.
I mean, people are really enjoying now my wife and I talking about longevity medicine. you hear it the first time, you're like, oh, okay. But it's not until you've heard it for the 10,000th time that you really, really begin to enjoy what we have as a couple.
I missed the make my butt look bigger.
Yeah, the tight pants one.
Yeah.
Well, might come back again.
Ooh.
All right. Yeah, Bucky's Auto Service Centers, 16 locations.
Bucky.
If this guy wins in England, they are going to have to change the law to allow somebody to sit in the House of Parliament with a tin can on his face and his whole head.
He wouldn't have a choice, right?
they would change the law so that he could sit there with a garbage can on his head.
Right.
Count Binface has already run, and he's lost against Prime Minister Boris Yeltsin and Sunka. Boris Johnson. And then other constituents. So he ran in 2019, I think, didn't he? And then he ran again, lost then, but he's at it. He is seriously wanting to win. He got very close on running for mayor there in London, but this guy has got a tin can on his head. He says that he is 5,900-year-old intergalactic space warrior from Sigma 9. That's the planet he's come from. And all you need is 10 signatures and a $500 deposit. If you don't get a certain percentage of votes, then you don't get your $500 back. But he ran against Boris Johnson 2019, the other guy, Sunka, in 2024. Got 24,000 votes as mayor.
And there is already a debate taking place in Parliament right now with potential representations to the Speaker, because were Count Binface to be elected as
Count Binface.
Yes. Count Binface. Yes. Your mandate is as Count Binface. Right. Now, under current parliamentary rules, you wouldn't be allowed to appear in the chamber like this. And there are MPs right now thinking of writing to the Speaker saying, were you to be elected, that your mandate would have to be respected and you'd have to appear in the common chamber just like this.
And let's not beat about the bush. He actually said that. It's politics in 2026. And I think your viewers are going to be thinking, my goodness me, did we all just stay up too late watching England-Mexico? We all haven't had enough sleep and it's just one giant fever dream. Maybe this is just a group hallucination. Maybe we're all in one of Christopher Nolan's Inceptions and it's a giant publicity stunt for the Odyssey. Who knows?
But the thing is, I'm just looking at the bookies because they're meant to know. William Hill are offering 4-1 odds. Labrix are offering...
I should say, this guy has a gigantic metal bin on his face.
Yes.
You can't see his face. It covers up to about his chest, right?
We call it a trash can here in the States.
Yeah, it's quite large.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Not full size, but kind of cartoonishly large, like an office trash can, except not so transparent.
7-1. Could you win?
Never tell me the odds.
Okay. And Count Binface, are you going to Clapton? It might be a good place to start.
It might be. That's a little bit of patronising, but I'll take it in the spirit it's intended. Yeah, I might go, but, apparently the current incumbent seems to spend more time in Washington, D.C., so maybe I should go there first. We'll see.
Yeah, you can hear him just fine speaking through the bin.
And there is already a debate taking place in Parliament right now with potential representations to the Speaker.
That's the same one.
Because here is his platform. He wants to rename landmarks. Okay, like for instance, the London Bridge would become Phoebe Waller Bridge.
Yes,
she's an actress or comedian.
Actress, yes,
comedian.
comedian.
Yeah. He wants to nationalize Adele. Okay. Cap the price of croissants to $1.10, or that would be British pound, and then also 99-cent flake ice cream should be 99 cents or 99p. He wants to get rid of nationwide ban on the video assistance for recording on soccer games.
Video assistant referee.
VAR?
Yeah, video assisted referee. That's like in World Cup.
If for cyclists who break highway code laws to only ride unicycles. Okay. He wants to ban loud snacks in movie theaters. Okay.
Yes.
And then a speakerphone offender. I guess that's somebody who's speaking on their phone with the volume on so everybody can hear.
Yeah.
That you have to listen to Cats, watch the movie Cats, the entirety for 1 year.
Well, he just lost your vote, didn't he?
What can I say? I love some of those Cats.
You are a speakerphone offender.
That's only because my phone is broken. I don't know how to get a new phone because I can't stand going into the Verizon store and having some guy ask me what my password is. When I said I don't know, then he's going to be like,
we're on year 3 of this excuse.
Do you know what your password is? No. When was the last time that you uploaded all of your phone pictures and stuff? I'm like, I don't know. And then you're in there for 4 hours.
It sounds like a nightmare. You should have Rye do it. By the way, they did a poll. This isn't like a traditional how you're going to vote poll, but they did poll the British public over the weekend, and they said, who would you rather have win this race? 33% said Count Binface, 21% said his opponent, Nigel Farage, and 32% said neither. So the weird thing about this kind of like, this parody candidate is that he might win.
Yeah, he's getting backed by green energy tycoon Dale Vincent is funding his campaign.
What?
That'd be fine.
I thought things were
Let him
weird
in.
here.
Let him in. Be great. It's good. All right. Nathan, checking traffic again for us. Nate, what do you got?
All right, we've got a big issue down in Lakewood. In fact, all northbound lanes of I-5 are now blocked at South Tacoma Way, the scene of our crash involving a semi that left the freeway, now stuck up on the hill. So we're backed up bumper to bumper to Thorn Lane. No estimation when this is going to reopen. Olympia to Tacoma right now is up to 45 minutes. If you have the chance to exit or Bridgeport, head up Pacific Highway to get around this. South 5, we've got a looky-loo backup starting at 512. Tacoma to Olympia, less than 40 minutes. Here in Seattle, South 5, we're bumper to bumper from Lake City Way to I-90. Give yourself a half hour from Linwood. North 5, stop and go from the West Seattle Bridge up to 520. Bellevue to Renton on 405 is a 35-minute drive. You're slow from 520 to the VMAC, but it is bumper to bumper from Northeast 8th all the way to 112th. North 405 slows from South Center through those Renton S-curves. Everett to Marysville, a 25-minute drive, and you're slow from 526 up to 528. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
30 years ago,
I wanted to be part of keeping the Seahawks in Seattle long term.
3 decades later,
12, they're bringing the trophy home.
2 Super Bowl championship banners hang in the stadium Paul Allen built. Now, a new era of stewardship begins.
Most things that seem impossible become possible.
And we welcome the Kosla family to Seattle. From the home of the Seahawks since the very beginning, KIRO News Radio.
You've probably heard all those ads for life insurance. Just a few dollars a day, apply online in minutes, no medical exam. Simple, easy, and cheap, right? Now you're thinking, maybe I should get a quote. Well, smart thinking. Everyone should have life insurance. But here's what they don't tell you. Those few dollars a day rates, they're for young people in perfect health. That's why everyone calls Big Lou the 50 to 60-year-old not-so-perfect candidate. Like you. You take prescription meds, and you're overweight. Winner, winner, fried chicken dinner. Well, Big Lou works with life insurance companies that want people like you, with no surprises after you apply. In fact, if you're a 50-year-old guy with a few health glitches, Lou could probably find you $1 million of term life coverage for about $200 a month. So, yeah, you need life insurance. But unless you're young and healthy, you gotta call Big Lou, because he's like you, older, heavier, and on meds, too. Get a quote right now at 800-381-4183, 800-381-4183, or biglou.com.
I'm Bradley Johnson with 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Let's talk about summertime. Bikinis, the occasional Speedo, sunshine, and almost always more drinking. But don't let the wine coolers or hard lemonades fool you. Too many drinks at the beach can get you in a whole lot of trouble. You're sporting a farmer's tan, but the police are wearing heavy, dark uniforms. And it's not because they're comfortable. If you don't take preventative measures, your summer tan can become a costly burn. Take a designated driver with that aloe vera and SPF 50. Call 1-800-DUI-AWAY or go to 1-800-DUI-AWAY.com to set up a free private consultation. Jail is no place to ask, missed a spot? Mind getting where I can't reach? Be reasonable this summer. And always remember, 1-800-DUI-AWAY has your back.
1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Nick, you know what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you. When they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see. They know. They hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well,
I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Don't wait. Insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Your old water heater's starting to peter.
DayandNight.net.
Day and Night has $150 off installation of any new water heater, including tankless, backed by a free lifetime warranty.
Hi, I'm Bruce. When your old water heater leaks or fails, the damage could be catastrophic. Whether you need an emergency replacement or you're planning ahead before it leaks, give us a call and we'll help you get into hot water again.
Get $150 off installation of any new water heater.
DayandNight.net.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families can't afford the food their kids need to heal. Safeway and Jackson Smith & Jigba are fighting back with the Food First Project. No barriers, just help for families right now. Learn more at Safeway.com.
What are the rules about eating on radio?
This is not a Tristan.
Huh?
This is not a Tristan.
Say something for a moment so I can swallow this at payday.
Let's dive into Sisson syndrome.
What is that, Joe?
There apparently is a large number of adults.
I got it. Never mind. Yeah, apparently there's a large number of adults. Thanks, Joe. That lie. I assume it's got to be all men. And women would be like, oh, really?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, here we go.
What if 1 out of every 5 men who claimed they played professional baseball was lying? In the 1990s, researchers actually discovered this was a real phenomenon, and they gave it a name: Eddie Sissons syndrome. Eddie Sissons wasn't even real. He was a fictional character created by W.P. Kinsella, the author of Shoeless Joe, the book that became Field of Dreams. Sissons was an old man who lied about playing for the Chicago Cubs. Kinsella later wrote a short story claiming hundreds of men suffered from the same condition, lying about playing professional baseball. And then something strange happened. 2 real academics at the University of Central Florida decided to investigate, and the more men they interviewed, the more cases they found. When they contacted the Baseball Hall of Fame, Cooperstown told them, based on their own experience, that 1 out of every 5 men who claimed to have played professional baseball was lying. What? And even with records, even with technology, the lies continued.
I mean, you could lie about a whole bunch of stuff, but like that?
Well, the fact
because then it'd be like, really, where'd you play? 2 years with the Cubs, and then I got traded. Nowadays, we just look it up.
Yeah, I can't imagine that people are still suffering.
This was from the 90s, right?
Yes.
I mean, this goes back to Uncle Rico, right?
Back in 82, I used to be able to throw a pigskin quarter mile.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over them mountains? Yeah, if Coach would have put me in fourth quarter, we'd have been state champions, no doubt. No doubt in my mind. You better believe things would have been different. I'd have gone pro. In a heartbeat. I'd be making millions of dollars and living in a big old mansion somewhere. You know, soaking it up in a hot tub with my soulmate.
At least Uncle Rico wasn't lying that he was in the NFL.
No, I think he was exaggerating his skill.
Yeah.
Certainly.
I mean, quarter mile for a pass.
Over those mountains.
Well,
that seems pretty far.
Okay, run a post pattern. Get to the incline. Keep going. Look over your right shoulder. That 1990 men were lying about baseball, playing professional baseball. 1 out of 5. Now,
okay, not 1 out of 5 not 1 out of 5 men were saying they played professional baseball.
No, I get it, but 1 out of 5 that said they played didn't play.
Right. A lot of bragging going on either way.
Yeah, really. Nobody ever calls a guy on it. All right, here comes Nate with the truth about traffic. Nathan.
Yes, sir. Seattle Sports has the update. In Lakewood, we've got a big problem. A traffic alert northbound I-5. All lanes are blocked as South Tacoma Way. The scene of this crash that just happened about 20 minutes ago involves a semi, and it's stuck up on the ditch. It left the freeway, so we're backed up bumper to Berkeley. That's about close to a 5-mile bumper-to-bumper backup. Olympia to Tacoma is up to 50 minutes. If you have the chance to exit and head up Pacific Highway, that'll get you around this. South 5, we've got that looky-loo backup starting at South 74th, Tacoma to Olympia, right around 40 minutes. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is a 40-minute trip. Pretty much cleared out in the north end, but we're still stop and go from State Route 18 into Sumner. Seattle to Federal Way is a half-hour drive. North 5 into Seattle is bumper to bumper from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge, where Revive I-5 is back and blocking 2 right lanes. Also, the on-ramp from Harvard Avenue is closed through mid-October. That's a ramp that puts you right onto the Ship Canal Bridge. South 5, we're packed from Lake City Way to I-90, crossing the lake from Bellevue, 20 to 25 minutes on both bridge routes. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Wow, Sarah, these window coverings are gorgeous. Did you guys do this yourself?
No way, it's all Hunter Douglas. My local expert came to our home, brought samples, and helped us see everything in our actual light, then measured perfectly and handled the installation.
If you're planning a remodel, moving into a new home, or simply ready to elevate how your space feels, Westco Blinds, your neighborhood Hunter Douglas expert, offers custom, beautifully crafted window treatments thoughtfully designed for life. Whether it's blinds, shades, shutters, or drapes, our products fit your windows perfectly. And with smart home options, you control the light and privacy with a tap or on schedule. Hunter Douglas window treatments are an investment in quality, backed by a lifetime limited warranty and ongoing support from your trusted local expert, Westco Blinds. Call now to schedule your free in-home design consultation. Call 206-285-5455, 206-285-5455, 206-285-5455.
Clutter happens. Let Closets by Design save the day. For a limited time, get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
How sweet it is! 50 seasons of moments. 50 seasons of legends. A once-in-a-lifetime event. Join Mariners past and present at T-Mobile Park August 7th through 9th for 50 Season Celebration Weekend. The festivities begin Friday with a post-game slugfest, the Alumni Home Run Derby featuring Ichiro and other former Mariners sluggers, presented by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
It is Grand Salami time! No doubt about it, Ichiro!
Saturday will be a showstopper. 50 Season Celebration Night presented by Daktronics. Arrive early to witness the biggest gathering of franchise icons ever assembled as the 50 greatest Mariners from across all 5 decades are revealed.
It just continues.
The weekend wraps up on Sunday with a collectible 50 Seasons pin giveaway thanks to KeyBank. Seats are going fast. Get yours at mariners.com/tickets.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Carrie injured her back years ago. This is her story.
My herniated disc was so significant that they did the first surgery, the laminectomy and a microdiscectomy. The first surgery failed, and I ended up with another herniated disc, which is pretty typical that herniations just move up your spine. The doctor was recommending another fusion surgery, so I researched alternative therapies. Sound Pain Solutions developed a plan that included bioelectric therapy, laser therapy, decompression, pressure wave therapy, in addition to rehab. Once we started that comprehensive approach, it went phenomenally. They honestly have given me my life back, and I'm happy to help other patients find sound pain solutions sooner.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
Our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn, understands the pressure that comes from owing money to the IRS. Don't let that pressure build. Call None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO News Radio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
If your water heater's failing or running out too fast, we've got CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program. Get a new system starting at just $44.99 a month with lifetime repairs and maintenance included. Book your free estimate today at cmheating.com.
License number CMHEAHL 750LP.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Stephanie Officer. Federal immigration agents involved in another deadly shooting, this time in Maine. A statement from the Maine Attorney General's office says agents were carrying out an enforcement operation and opened fire when the man tried running in their direction. Maine Congresswoman Shelley Pingree told ABC people are angry at ICE's use of lethal force.
People are extremely upset. This isn't what Maine wants to be. You know, we believe we have many immigrants and New Mainers who are friends, neighbors, they're working in our businesses, and we want to be supportive of them. We don't want them to be fearful that if they go outside, they're going to be arrested or shot.
A reinstalled blockade in the Strait of Hormuz by President Trump means gas prices are on their way back up. U.S. crude oil futures are trading around $78 a barrel. Gas Buddy's Patrick DeHaan suggests refilling sooner rather than later. He expects the national average gas price to hit $4 per gallon in the next 7 to 10 days, if not sooner, and diesel prices up to $5 a gallon. This is ABC News. The death of Senator Lindsey Graham at age 71 and the continued absence of Senator Mitch McConnell at 84 is calling attention to the average age of lawmakers.
Never in history has Congress been this old. The U.S. Constitution sets the minimum age requirement to be in the Senate at 30 and the House at 25. It does not set a maximum. The average age of the current Senate is 64. Half the members are over 65. The oldest, Chuck Grassley in Iowa, 92. The youngest, John Ossoff of Georgia, 39. Average age in the House has soared from under 50 in the early 1980s to 58. Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
Jay-Z's final concert at Yankee Stadium was delayed for several hours last night after hundreds without tickets rushed the door to get in.
Really sorry for the inconvenience, but I have to make sure everybody's okay.
Jay thanked the crowd for their patience and promised a good time. This morning's show included surprise appearances from Rihanna, Jadakiss, and Swiss Beats. I'm Stephanie Officer, ABC News.
At 5:02, the man who allegedly tried to grab a baby at Pike Place Market will not face felony charges. More on that coming up. But first, here's Nate at the real-time traffic desk.
Hey, thanks, Tim. Down in Lakewood, some good news. 2 left lanes just reopened, North 5 and South Tacoma Way. All lanes were blocked there for a moment where we've got a crash involving a semi. We're backed up bumper to Berkeley. That's about a 5-mile thick backup. Olympia to Tacoma. We just crossed over the 1 hour mark. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway. Not too bad, 40 minutes, pretty much much cleared out in the north end. Still heavy in the south end between Algona and Sumner. North 5 into Seattle is bumper to bumper from the Michigan curve to the Ship Canal Bridge as Revive I-5 is back, blocking 2 lanes on the bridge. Northbound 99, an alternate route. It is heavy through the downtown tunnel to South Lake Union. Southbound 99 is packed from the Aurora Bridge to the stadiums. South 5 heading into Seattle is packed from Lake City Way to I-90. It's a half hour from Linwood into downtown. Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett are both at 50 minutes, and Everett to Marysville, 20 minutes. You're slow from Lowell Road up to 529, and northbound 529 jams up at the Union Slough into Marysville. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
And good evening, I'm Tim Hole. A man accused of trying to kidnap a baby at Pike Place Market last week will not face felony charges. The King County Prosecuting Attorney's Office says detectives determined the case did not meet felony filing standards and are now referring it to the Seattle City Attorney's Office for possible misdemeanor charges. At last check, the suspect was being held on $100,000 bail. A pharmacy giant on trial. Washington State accusing Albertsons of looking the other way while diverted opioid pills fueled an addiction crisis.
There's no way they couldn't have known, say state lawyers, who point to parking lot overdoses and one pharmacist who tried to ban a known drug dealer.
But what did the patient do? They walked across the street to another Albertsons owned store and got script after script.
But attorneys for Albertsons say state duty to dispense rules prevent most action.
So if the pharmacist does not have reason to believe that a prescription is illegitimate, she has an obligation to fill the prescription.
The state has asked for unspecified damages in this case. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
2 missing hikers have been found dead in separate Whatcom County searches. The Seattle Times report the Snohomish County Helicopter Rescue Team recovered the body of 34-year-old Gurzimran Singh Monday in the Mount Baker Wilderness. A hiker spotted his body near the north face of South Twin a day earlier. Singh from British Columbia disappeared after a hike last month. On Saturday, a helicopter rescue crew found 55-year-old Stephen Dorsett in the Okanagan-Wenatchee National Forest. Searchers followed hiking gear to a shallow river where they found his body below a cliff. The City of Federal Way's overall crime rate has fallen 21% in the first half of this year compared to 2025. That city's mayor tells KIRO News Radio his city is on pace to have a double-digit reduction for a third straight year.
Ever since the police pursuits were re-allowed at the state level, the bottom is dropping out of crime on really what we call quality of life crimes, which are, car theft, burglary, robbery, those kinds of crimes.
Motor vehicle theft dropped 54% compared to the same period in 2025. And in the past 3 years, it's dropped nearly 80%. In the coming weeks, the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs expected to release statewide crime numbers. Microsoft's latest sustainability report shows the company's carbon emissions rose 25% in 2025. The company says expanding AI data centers were the main reasons for the increase. Despite the numbers, Microsoft says it remains committed to being carbon negative by the year 2030. The report follows similar announcements from Google and Amazon, both of which also reported higher emissions as they expand AI infrastructure. Your forecast, fair skies overnight tonight with a low of 56, sunshine tomorrow and 83, sunny and 84 on Wednesday. A few showers 77 Thursday, Friday mostly sunny 79, and an early look at the weekend. A+, sunny and low 80s. Right now, 77 in Seattle. I'm Tim Hole, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Got it. Here we go with the John Curley Show. Thanks, one and all, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. All of your text messages, your critiques, constructive criticism, good and bad. Take it all. Show listens to it, reads it. 1-888-973-5476. Rye Roller.
Talking sports with Rye.
There he is, Rye Roller from KOZI Radio. We thank them for lending you to us. So the news.
No problem.
Yes. Did you have a chance to sort of catch up on the new owner of the Seahawks? It hasn't been confirmed definitely although the $9 billion or whatever that's going to be going, they just have to have all the other owners sign off on this will be the owner. Have you had a chance to check this dude out?
Yeah, I've gotten familiarized with him. And it does appear that this deal is kind of on the 1 yard line, and he's going to be welcome in. Part of the helpful part of that is that he was already a minority owner of the Niners. So to get into sort of the boys club, or there's women in there too, but sort of the fraternity of NFL owners, there is a vetting process, and he already went through that. And everybody was like, okay, we like this guy. He's good as an NFL owner when he became a minority holder of the Niners. So now that he's the Seahawks majority owner, it looks like that process is going to be pretty smooth. I don't really know what to make a whole lot of. I don't totally understand the field that he was in. Sun Microsystems was his big break and invention. And then he eventually sold that to Oracle. He was named the 10th greatest American entrepreneur from Forbes. And I listened to an interview from him. He's the classic sort of American dream story. Comes from India, goes to Carnegie Mellon, then to Stanford, and then immediately starts a couple of businesses. He had some, I would say, sort of encouraging words, some sort of motivating speeches in this one I watched about failure and don't be afraid of failure, because things that are hard are worth doing. That kind of right off the shelf sort of stuff. So I like him. I think his wife is going to be the one with the voting rights for the team. But as I said, when the team went up for sale, what's most important in an owner is, and this can be difficult for people that have had total control of their businesses and their work throughout the years. It's just sort of maybe a hands-off. That's why I know you weren't a huge Jody Allen fan, but she was as hands-off as they came when it comes to owners.
Yes.
Let the people delegate your tasks out. Let the football people who have grown up and spent their entire life learning about football, let them make the football decisions, and let the people that you have in place already make decisions about the team. So yeah, $9.82 billion. That is a record. It's up 50% from the last team that was sold. That was the Washington Commanders, and it's. I don't think that's as sustainable. I think the next time a team is sold, it probably won't go up 50% and again and again and again until we're selling teams for $1 trillion. But yeah, this is a landmark sale, and I see nothing wrong with the guy.
What's give us an example of a team where the owner is far too involved?
There's a lot, and that's a great question.
Thank you, Rye. Thank you. Yes.
Number one, I would think of the Panthers, David Temper. This guy is sort of, and it makes sense. To be a billionaire, to have enough capital in the first place to buy a team, you're a little bit haywire. You're not a normal human being.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to take a lot of from a lot of people.
Right.
So that Panthers owner has been maybe a little overreaching. The former, what was his name? The guy who used to own the Commanders, then at the time Redskins.
Oh yeah,
Dan Snyder. Yeah. I would think Arthur Blank of the Falcons is kind of like Shaka Khan, the Jaguars.
Yes.
Just guys that sort of try to get their hands, whether it's cost-cutting measures or just overreach, trying to implement decisions or persuade their coaches or general managers or the presidents or the vice presidents of the team. And they have sort of these broad, sweeping, idealistic ideas of where the team wants to go. And they're sort of involved in everything. That can end up usually being a bad thing.
I'm surprised the first name out of your mouth wasn't Jerry Jones.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Jerry Jones gets a leash because he's not the usual owner. He's actually the GM of the team.
Mm-hmm.
And his track record, and that's a great point. You might have caught me there a little bit. Yeah. But his track record with the team, he was the general manager of the team when they won their Super Bowls in the 90s. And he doesn't do things. He's not one of these guys that made his bunch of money outside, then came in and now wants to dictate how to run a football team. He sort of is the Dallas Cowboys.
He's got the resume.
There's no other owner that comes down out of the booth after the game, takes the elevator down into the concourse, and does media. He is the Cowboys. He's deciding who they draft. He's deciding who they trade. Yeah. I really hope, and I doubt, that this new guy, Casola, is going to be doing any of that.
His wife gets in there, starts making decisions. Here is Vinda Casola. Close enough. Casola. Talking about being a risk taker.
I've always been a risk taker. I left India in 1976.
That's what you said, right?
Came to this country, didn't know a soul, didn't have any support, just said, I want to get to Silicon Valley and go start a company. That was a big risk. It's attitude that matters.
He, after Sun Microsystems and a bunch of others, then DoorDash and Instacart, some of his other great successes, starting a company.
I always assume if I start a company, it fails. I can still feed myself McDonald's. When I first came to this country, even eating at McDonald's was a luxury. I had myself budgeted for one McDonald's meal a week. That's all I could afford.
Sounds like you, Rye.
Otherwise, it was Swanson's chicken pot pies that cost 39 cents back then. They cost $1.39, I checked recently now.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, one last cut. I like this, talking about being stressed.
I don't get stressed ever. I just don't know what stress means.
Really?
I just decide what's the best thing I can do the best thing I can, then I can't do any more. Worrying about it going wrong doesn't affect me.
Yeah, he's an interesting cat. He is well respected. He took that pledge that Warren Buffett and Bill Gates wanted them to take, which is, give all your money away. He says he's going to do that. He's sort of disappointed to see that others aren't following along with that. The one knock against Paul Allen's sister, Jody, was that she has held on to the money too long. When it came to the Trailblazers, she never went to a game, even when Paul was alive. Paul would go to the games. She never didn't go to the games. And then there were offers to buy the Trailblazers, and she sold it later for $4.2 billion. But they kept saying, you're supposed to sell this stuff. Get rid of it. Why are you holding on to it as long as you're holding on to it? And the new buyer, once it gets approved, for the Seahawks, he was happy to see that the money goes to a charity because Allen doesn't get to keep it. The 9.6 or 9.3, whatever the number turns out to be, will then be dispersed out to various charity organizations. So he said he was happy to see that happen. When you buy a team at the top like that, right, you pay all that money at the very, very top. If another team were possibly for sale, where do you go once your team has won the Super Bowl? I mean, that's right. If you bought it,
do it again.
Do it again.
Yeah. That's, I'm happy with like a ghost owner, and I'd like to memorize this guy's name and then just have to be reminded of it maybe every couple of years.
Right.
Just, write the checks. And I think that's the way. The team will be the team. The on-field, what I was surprised is that the on-field success or failure really doesn't have a ton of bearing over what the sale price of this team is going to be. And it's mostly about the market you're in and the scarcities of the resources and how much money this team drags in. Obviously the biggest evaluation of a team would be the Dallas Cowboys. I think they will eventually someday come along and break this record.
Yeah. You want to switch over to Mariners real fast? You're still following them as much as you do? Aaron is.
Oh, yeah. My gosh. What a horrible week for them. It's like so delicate. We take one step forward, or no, okay, 2 steps forward, 1 step back all season long. And we get this luck, just this by happenstance, the stars align, and the AL West is terrible. So we're able to float around in mediocrity and still, at the end of the day, look up and go, oh my God, we're still in first place in the AL West. Well, we go to Florida for this trip.
Yes.
And we get swept by the Marlins, who are actually good this year, so you can't really make that complaint.
Yeah.
And then we go into Tampa Bay, and we don't even look like we belong on the field with them. We win the final game of that series as just sort of like, okay, maybe that makes the 6-hour flight back home a little easier. But one all-star for this team, and that's Randy Arozarena, and he's trouble. So it's just the talent's all there. We knew they were going to be streaky. Julio Rodriguez gets a concussion. Cal Raleigh, no show. How is he going to back up that run year? Nothing. I know he was hurt, but gosh. So the Mariners the good thing is for the people that maybe keep one eye on the team throughout the year, just know we are having struggles, but this team is going to be in the thick of this AL West race. We might make the playoffs with a 2 games above 500 record. That's how bad the AL West is. That's how bad the American League is. Even if we don't win the AL West, we might sneak into the wild card. There's no good teams in the American League outside of Tampa Bay and New York right now. So the Mariners are frustrating. They don't hit. The pitching is amazing. The pitching was actually really bad in Florida, but it was such a delicate process for the first few months of the season. And then we blow all of that, like any goodwill we had generated over the last week.
Well, we get a break, right? All-Star break. What should the Mariners be doing?
I don't know. Sleeping. Just go home. Think on your sins. Think on your sins. That's what you do for the next week. And bolster up. And you got a great series with San Francisco Friday, Saturday, Sunday in Seattle.
Right. You know, there's the league is the division is so bad, right? It's like in football, the NFC where the Saints win 4 games.
Yeah, the NFC South. Yeah.
And the Saints winning 4 games and they're going to the playoffs. It's like, good God, you just stumble on in there. Is it possible? And I know you don't like to make these predictions because it's always going to be negative on this one, but is it possible that the Mariners can pull it back together? Because they are streaky, right? Normally it's June, they start to kind of fall off. By mid-July, they're still bad. And then all of a sudden, they start turning it around. The end of July, August, they're on fire. September, they take us all in. And then all the bandwagon fans that you dislike jump on board again. Is it possible that the Mariners are able to turn this around?
It's so abundantly possible, and that's why it's frustrating. You know, you don't want to just sit and wait for Superman, which is that like end of July streak or August streak that we need to rely on. The team is great. And in fact, it's almost more infuriating that Cal isn't hitting and that Julio has been average and that some of these other guys, Naylor, because look at some of the younger guys on the team like Cole Young and Colt Emerson. I mean, they're pulling their weight. We weren't expecting production from them. And a lot of the nights it's like, God, okay, we won 2-1. Who produced? Oh, Cole Young and Colt Emerson did. Dominic Canzone did. Luke Raley did. You want your superstars, the guys that we make 15 bobbleheads a year, like those the bobblehead guys need to come through. So that's been frustrating. Also, the bullpen is kind of, taking a step back this year. Munoz hasn't quite been Munoz, and Eduardo Bizarro seems to be the only serviceable arm out there.
Yeah.
So it's so possible. That's the thing. It's not like, oh, we're happy to be around 500. This team should be comfortably 10 games above 500, and it just seems like we've let so many slip away throughout this first half.
I walked into the house on Saturday night, and you seemed stunned. I said, "How was the fight? How was the fight?" And you you were struggling to find the words. I looked over, and there were about 4 or 5 empty beer cans, and you said, "You're not going to believe what just happened."
Yeah, rough for our countrymen. Tough showing for the Irish boys.
Very hard for Connor to go out there. So if anybody, it's probably if you're caring at all about sports, you know that the thing took no longer than a minute or something like that. Connor comes flying out, a giant kick. His foot lands perpendicular to his knee or in such a direction that looked like he could have torn. But then all the conspiracy that he was hurt beforehand, that he was already injured. Dana White is saying, no, he wasn't injured. There's no injury. In fact, here's video of him in the locker room prior to with the same sort of kicks, the same sort of punches. Joe, what's that face for?
No, I'm just...
Okay, all right. So then he just goes out there and he tears that knee. Is this the end of Conor McGregor?
I think so. He wanted to fight again. He told Ariel Helwani back in January that he said, I have 2 dates on the schedule right now. I have the July 11th date.
What did he have an accent?
I'm not doing that on the radio. No way. So he said he had this fight, and then he had another one later in this year, possibly January of 2027. So it's like, okay, so he's going to fight Holloway. Who knows how that'll go? Hopefully it went any other way than it actually did. And then he was going to have 2 fights in writing for the UFC. He's going to need surgery on that MCL. It takes like 7 to 8 to 9 months to recover. And it's like, what, you're going to come back? There's only so many times, I don't care how big of a name you are, that you can keep pressing that, like, juice button of like, I'm back.
But he also had he had 2 fights left on his contract with the UFC. And I think his goal, in my opinion, was just to get out of that contract so he could do boxing or whatever, where he can make stupid amounts of money and fight under his own promotion or one of these other celebrity boxers.
Who the hell is this guy?
So is that the conspiracy? That it was a that was not a real injury and that was just his way to sort of get out of this.
Well, I don't know. I think the injury was real, but he also, it's not a secret that he just had 2 fights left on his contract and he can't do anything else competitively outside of the UFC until he completes his contract, because they're not going to let him go fight for anybody else. They let him do the Floyd fight, but that was it. And they got paid a lot from that. So he just needed, I think he wanted to get out of his contract as soon as possible so he can do his kind of other things.
Who the hell is this guy?
But Conor is the classic, he's the classic narcissist. I doubt he would want to sort of have to give himself up and put that performance on tape and disappoint everyone. If you're looking for a good conspiracy, though, the first fight of the night, the first fight of the main card, McKinley versus Green, that was a rigged fight. It's like, no, that was the most rigged fight I've ever watched. So there is a thumb on the scale with this UFC stuff.
Was that where he drops him with no punch at all? The guy just
punch, and it was the ref called it with 1 second left in the first round. So clearly there was some bet like he needs to get a TKO in the first. The ref jumps in and stops it with 1 second. Oh,
you should have seen those two.
Like
if you probably did, right? But those two celebrating at the club after that fight, they made some money.
And the McKinley guy's from Spokane.
Yeah.
So it's a good local story.
Yeah. Well, thank you for shaming us. I guess we'll hear that one on KOZI radio when you get out of your closet.
I'm going to drop a bombshell here on the UFC.
Yeah,
I'm working on an explosive piece.
Right, Roller. Thank you. Love.
Love.
He goes out the door. All right, here comes Nate checking traffic for us, Nate.
Thanks, John. JBLM, North 5. You've got a bumper-to-bumper backup from the main gate all the way to South Tacoma Way, where 2 right lanes are blocked due to a collision involving a semi that left the freeway. Olympia to Tacoma, an hour and 10-minute commute, about a 35-minute delay. Over to Gorst, we're dealing with bumper-to-bumper volumes on both State Route 3 and 16 as you head into Gorst from an earlier stall that just recently cleared. So this is going to start to clear up for you. Here in Seattle, North 5, bumper to bumper from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. Remember, Revive I-5 is back with us. South 5 packed from Ravenna to I-90. Linwood to Seattle has improved at 25 minutes. Northbound 99, you're heavy about midway into that downtown tunnel up to South Lake Union. Southbound 99 is still packed from about mid-Lake Union down to the stadiums. Westbound 520, clear across the lake. You will jam up at the Arboretum over to I-5. And westbound I-90, looking great. You're wide open across the lake into downtown. Bellevue to Renton on 405 is a half-hour drive. It is heavy from 520 all the way to the VMAC. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-822-1490. That's 800-822-1490. 800-822-1490.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
This is a test of your emergency alert system.
At Seattle Children's Hospital, 1 in 3 patient families can't afford the food their kids need to heal. A child recovering from surgery and the family struggling to put nutritious food on the table. That's why Seattle Children's, Safeway, and Seahawk, Jackson Smith and Jigba launched the Food First Project to fight pediatric food insecurity by providing grocery cards, produce vouchers, and food as medicine programs for families. No barriers, just help. 12s, we need you. Learn more at Safeway.com. Again, that's Safeway.com.
Do you get sinus infections, congestion, sinus pressure and pain, sinus headaches? You've gone to the doctor. You visit urgent care over and over again. And it's always the same thing, right? Oh, I know. Let's try antibiotics and some nasal sprays. But they just keep coming back. You may suffer with chronic sinus infections. The good news? Relief is possible. How? A minimally invasive procedure called the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic. Imagine a procedure so delicate there are no narcotics. Less cutting means less bleeding, so no packing, and no operating room. The Sinusoft procedure is designed for the clinic. If you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, and congestion, find out if the Sinusoft procedure, available only at the Modern Nose Clinic, is the solution for you. Call and set an appointment today. 206-388-2770. 206-388-2770. That's 206-388-2770.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. And your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number. To a good life sleep.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
At 5:30, good evening. I'm Tim Hole. Days after the sudden death of Senator Lindsey Graham, we now know who will serve out the remainder of his term.
In South Carolina, the governor announcing Lindsey Graham's sister Darlene will soon take her brother's place in Washington.
It's my honor to ask his little sister, Darlene Graham, to finish his work for him now.
Graham raised his sister after both their parents died by the time she was only 13. Darlene Graham Nordone saying she's ready to step in.
Lindsey has always been there for me, and now I will be there for him.
Above the Capitol, the American flag at half-staff.
ABC's Jay O'Brien in Washington. A Whatcom County boy has died after a log crushed him at a Bellingham beach. The Bellingham Herald reports Killian Gonzalez was playing in a driftwood fort last Wednesday when a log fell on him. He suffered severe head injuries and a collapsed lung. He died Sunday at Harborview.
The 6-year-old had just finished kindergarten at Alderwood Elementary School. His mother, Sonia McCartney, says she wants her son to be remembered for who he was and not for what happened to him.
He always had a hug for everyone.
Yeah.
And a laugh for everyone. He was so smart, and he just wanted to learn everything.
Killian's parents say there really are no words to describe what their family is suffering through.
KIRO 7 reporter Nia Bliss, an anonymous donor, has offered to pay all of the family's funeral expenses. A GoFundMe has raised more than $46,000. Filling out federal college financial assistance forms could soon be a requirement to graduate high school. That's the proposal from Washington Governor Bob Ferguson, announced earlier today, and will submit to the legislature next year. Rachel Smith is president of the Pro-Business Washington Roundtable, and through her support behind it,
Washington, as has been said, has the most generous financial aid programs in the country, but far too many students and families don't know what's available to them.
Washington is near the bottom of the list of states for FAFSA completion rates. Seattle bus riders could see major service expansions or cuts, depending on what the city council does this week with the proposed transit sales tax. Committee heard public testimony today, and most urged the council to pass the full measure, which would place a 0.3% sales tax on the November 3rd ballot. Right now, that tax rate is 0.15%.
For the median Seattle household, the full increase that is proposed will cost $29 per year. That's less than 1 day of parking in downtown for work, 1 Uber to West Seattle, or 5 gallons of gas.
Some opponents want to redirect money toward sidewalk and ADA repairs instead. The committee votes on amendments Thursday. Full council action possible next Tuesday to get it on the ballot. Now let's check with Nate at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, Tim, most of the commute looking good with just a minimal crowding here and there, but we still have a few spots that are really struggling, like North 5 through JBLM. We have a 7-mile bumper-to-bumper backup between the main gate all the way to South Tacoma Way, where 2 right lanes remain blocked due to our long-term collision. Olympia to Tacoma, about an hour and 15-minute commute now. That's a good 40-minute delay. Anytime you can head over to the Pack Highway is a good idea. It does get thick just after Bridgeport. Over to Gorse, it seems our car fire is still blocking all northbound lanes of State Route 3 just north of Gorse. We have big backups on both State Route 3 and 16 approaching the scene. North 5 is packed from the Michigan Curve to the Ship Canal Bridge. South 5 packed from Ravenna to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, about 25 minutes. And Bellevue to Renton, give yourself a solid half hour with a solid backup from 520 all the way to the VMAC. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Your Monday evening forecast, fair skies overnight, low 56. More sunshine tomorrow at 83. It's going to be 84 on Wednesday with plenty of sunshine. Few showers Thursday, 77. Sunshine returns on Friday and 79. Early look at the weekend, sunny and low 80s. Right now in Seattle, 77 and sunshine. I'm Tim Hole, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Oh, hear that? Oh, the governor's going to step in and fully support teaching kids how to fill out a college application for financement. It used to be 108 questions. They've cut it down by 2/3. It should now take you, most people are able to answer. You can skip most of the questions. You answer 18. Normally 18 of the questions apply to most of the kids. Should take you 10 minutes. But let's make sure the state of Washington helps kids fill out a form so they can go to college.
Sure.
Sorry, but never mind, Joe. I believe we've got some eggs. Teeny, do you have the Wilcox Family Farm eggs wheel? There it is, spinning around names of all the players, red, white, and blue, still celebrating the 250th birthday for this great country. It lands on Joe.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, my.
Good job, Teeny.
I call this one the Senator Lindsey Graham.
Oh,
no,
too soon.
Too soon. You know what I like is a nice pair.
I have an egg on your face for that first one.
No, come on. I like the pair of Wilcox Family Farms hard-boiled eggs.
Right downstairs.
Get them anywhere. 7-Eleven right downstairs in our building. We're at 1820 East Lake.
Yeah. Come on in.
We won't let you in, but I'll get them for you.
That's
Just
right.
let them know you're here.
Knock at the door.
Here for the eggs, and yes, they're fantastic.
There we go. There's the recipe brought to you by Joe and Wilcox Family Farm Eggs. Everybody loves Costco. That's exactly what the Wall Street Journal says. That's one thing we might not have in common as Americans, but we all agree that Costco is a great store. Like the Costco guys, the A and AJ and Big Juice, achieving fame. Who are these people? I don't know who any of them are, but they do social media posts about Costco.
We're Costco guys. Of course we go shopping while eating a chicken bake.
We're Costco guys. Of course we had to try the new double chunk chocolate cookie.
We're Costco guys. Of course we have to try out the furniture.
Okay, how many more minutes of this?
We're Costco guys. Of course we work out with the tires.
Okay, I assume there's some humor in here.
We're Costco guys. What the heck is this thing?
We're Costco guys. Of course we look at every TV in the place every time we come in.
Okay, I assume it's a visual thing. All right, not working for radio.
You never heard of these guys?
No.
Oh.
Costco guys being interviewed in national news talking about
Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on ABC.
is the father son or something?
Yes.
I'm so excited to chat with you. So let's start with the big news.
Costco hot dogs right here,
The
and we
hot
got the
dogs.
bottle of water right here for you.
And the
Water.
water.
Of course, don't forget the double chunk chocolate cookie.
Oh.
Okay, the dad is really bringing it too much for the person trying to interview him.
Oh, it's so
Which looks
awkward.
absolutely delicious. I need to go grab one. Okay, let's start with the big news, the hot dogs and this combo. This is the first change to the combo
We don't need
in
to- we don't need to-
decades.
No, with the general idea.
But these guys have made a massive career out of just being a Costco father and son.
Just going to Costco.
Yeah, going to Costco.
Got it.
That's ridiculous.
The other story, the Wall Street Journal talked about the guy, Tony Barzara, who's 60 years old, who's worked at Costco since the 1990s. He's paid $32.90 an hour. Costco pays these guys well because they realize we don't want a lot of high turnover.
No.
It costs a lot to have to train somebody, so we can pay them well enough, $32.90 an hour. That's pretty good, right?
They have in the grocery industry, which essentially is what Costco falls into, the turnover is like 67%.
Yes.
At Costco, it's 9%.
Right, because they're paying them enough
Right.
and they want to stay. Plus, also, the people that they hire, they have their pick of people. So they don't have to get people and take the dread, the bottom of the barrel from everyone. They can get good people. So good people come in. They tend to want to stay longer. They tend to be older and take advantage of the 401k. Because this is really where the guy ends up being a millionaire. Because the Wall Street Journal says he's going to be retiring from Costco at some point, and he's a millionaire. He's a millionaire not because of the $32.90. He's a millionaire because the Costco stock that he has increased 1,700% since he was hired. And then dividends payback $2,600 in the dividends, a 2,600% increase for the dividends from the Costco from the year 2000. So the stock explodes. The guy is old enough that he puts the money into the 401k, and then the compounding interest on that, as Milton Friedman says, one of the 8 miracles of the world, is compounding interest. So that's why he ends up having just this gigantic or really good, nice-sized 401k for a guy that spent 30-some years of his life working there at Costco.
And brought his lunch every day. Just kind of like, he was smart with his money.
Yeah, because he hooked it to a wagon in Costco. Here's a question for everybody. So Costco made $275 billion. That's retail top line. That's $275 billion. Of every dollar that they earned, how much did Costco keep?
Every dollar that they earn.
Every dollar that comes through the cash register, what are their margins?
Oh, super low. Like a penny. 10 cents
1 cent?
From every dollar? Yeah.
3 cents.
3 cents, yeah.
3 cents. They pay 25% of it to on taxes, but they end up with 3 cents. It's all about the margins. But it's really where they make all their money is in the membership.
Right.
That's where they get it. Once you get that membership thing, plus they also just know you're going to come in and buy in such gigantic volumes that they can make 3 cents on every one of them.
And there's a psychological aspect to not wanting to cancel your membership. Like once you have it, their membership retention is almost as good as their employee retention.
Do they also give you benefits? I don't have a Costco card, but is there certain benefits if you spend a certain amount that they continue to come back on the thing?
You can arrange to get cash back on everything on money you spend there. So like a Costco card.
Yeah.
You can also get all kinds of other benefits on like travel and rental cars, stuff like that. If you're using it properly, there's a ton of ways to take it.
The weird thing is you go in to buy mayonnaise and you come out with a speedboat.
Yeah.
And that's sort of, it's like, yeah, I thought about buying tires when I went in there, but I got 4 tires. I'm going to hit the tire. And you know what? I'm going to get eyeglasses as well.
Might as well fill up my gas tank. Get a car wash.
Then the amazing magical guy that is able to look at everything inside the cart and quickly assess that it's all there by looking at a sheet of paper that is 3.5 yards long, and he's got his yellow magic marker, and he's like, "Yep, you're all set, ready
There's
to go."
the one guy at my Costco. He must be. Maybe I don't want to say that, but he's a very, very big man, and they put him in at the door doing receipts. He went missing. Well, he didn't show up for about 3 or 4 months during COVID. I'm like, oh God.
Oh yeah,
I got him.
Yeah.
Can't tell you how happy I was when he finally showed back up.
What do you like about the guy?
I don't like. Honestly, nothing. He was just like something I can count on.
Right, knowing that he's there.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
He's not very personable. He doesn't say much. He just kind of looks at you. things that he's not like.
Are you in there on a Saturday, like for 4 hours?
No. I refuse to go on the weekend.
All right. Okay. I remember reading an article that Costco likes to move things around because it's the surprise element that you go there and you never know what you're going to find.
I've heard that too. I don't find that they do that very often.
Oh, well, then maybe you don't know. You're just too busy looking for the big guy at the door. You know, it's funny. You were going to crack a joke about Lindsey Graham, who's just died within like 48 hours.
Yeah.
And you were mourning the possible loss of the big guy at Costco who you don't really care about. You ought to use some soul exam. Maybe you should go to Costco and buy a heart. Here's Nate checking traffic, Nathan.
All right, JBLM, North 5, we're seeing more improvement. Still got a 7-mile backup, though, to get through from the main gate to South Tacoma Way. We just opened up a third lane at the scene of this long-term collision, so just the right lane is blocked now. Olympia to Tacoma right now is at an hour 15. That's a good 40-minute delay. In Tacoma, South 5, just past 705, a disabled vehicle blocks your center lane. You're backed up bumper to bumper to that Puyallup River Bridge. Out toward Gorst, all lanes blocked. Northbound 3, just north of Gorst, as fire crews are dealing with this earlier car fire. The fire's out. They're just dealing with getting the car off the freeway. So we've got big backups on both 16 and 3 as you approach the scene. Here in Seattle, North 5 really hasn't budged much. It's heavy from the Michigan Curve across the Ship Canal Bridge. South 5 packed at Ravenna to I-90. Linwood to Seattle, plan on 25 minutes. Seattle to Everett, 45 minutes. It's 40 minutes from Bellevue to Everett. And in Seattle's Inner Bay neighborhood, a collision southbound on 15th Avenue West, right in front of the golf course, blocks that right lane, and you're backed up approaching Dravis. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thanks, Nathan. Let's see. If you have got the bad hip that I had, and you're driving the car and it just starts causing a whole bunch of pain, or maybe you're flying on an airplane and you got to put something underneath because it just feels like it's constantly just pinching. I had a really, really bad hip joint until I went to see Dr. Mark Wagner. He was at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. He's done 20,000 stem cell procedures. You can add me to the list as well. It's a 90-minute outpatient procedure. After I sent my MRI, my x-ray over there, and I made an appointment to go in and meet Wagner, I walk in a beautiful office. Really nice people working in there. Saw a couple of KIRO Radio listeners and John Curley listeners as well sitting in there. And I see all these jerseys that are framed on the wall of a whole bunch of athletes. I knew all of them. I was like, gee whiz, they come here? If athletes are going to see Wagner, I'm going to go see Wagner. So if you got a bad shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, whatever is bugging you, before you go under the knife, go see Wagner. Dr. Mark Wagner, MD.com. That's Dr. Mark Wagner, MD.com.
The Seahawks sold.
Selling price will be an NFL record $9.612 billion, according to ESPN.
What do we know about the new owners?
Vinod Khosla grew up in India, removed from technology.
I never even had a television or a telephone at home.
Has invested in a ton of companies you know of, Square, DoorDash.
Coverage continues on the home of the Super Bowl champion Seahawks. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM and mynorthwest.com.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Our first Mark Challenge victory is Aaron McCoy from McCoy Home Solutions, yet another small business owner that took the first Mark Insurance Challenge. Aaron, what was the initiative to make that call?
I've got something worth preserving for the sake of the people that I serve and my family. So it's important to me.
What did you learn through the process?
The experience with First Mark has been highly professional, informative individuals that have helped me from personal to professional insurance, life insurance, policies, coverage, cyberspace. Things that I was afraid to approach were pretty easily approachable.
How would you say their customer service has been, Aaron?
Absolutely 10 out of 10. I just couldn't say anything higher about First Mark. They've executed very well on as many levels as I could rate them.
So if you're a small business owner that wants to take the stress of insurance off your plate, do what Aaron McCoy did for McCoy Home Solutions. Make the call to First Mark Insurance. They're your teammate that goes to work for you. FirstMarkInsurance.com.
After the mild winter we just had, forecasters are predicting above average temperatures this summer across western Washington. If your home is struggling to stay cool, your attic could be the culprit. Jake Skorheim here. Poor insulation or no insulation in your attic can account for up to 40% of the heat gain in your home over the summer. That puts a load on your air conditioner, and it can leave you sweating. Fortunately, Valentine Roofing has you covered. This summer, bundle energy-saving attic insulation with a new roof and save 10%. That's better comfort, improved energy efficiency, and less strain on your cooling system. Thousands of homeowners have trusted Valentine Roofing for roofing, attic insulation, and complete home protection because every project comes with the Valentine experience. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. Plus, with no money down on your project, you don't pay until your project is complete. Call 206 Roofing to save 10% when you bundle a new roof and attic insulation. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Hey, you know Earthwise Salvage in Soto? That really cool place with all the amazing doors, windows, and other treasure? Great news! They just opened a brand new location nearby. The Salvage Lumber Warehouse is ready to serve as a central resource for contractors, builders, home DIYers, and hobbyist woodworkers, providing access to cleaned, de-nailed lumber ready for reuse, flooring, beams, siding, mantles, live edge slabs, and so much more. All harvested from structures, not forests. Visit EWSalvage.com.
Hey, how's your money situation? Are you ready for retirement? Well, if you want to know what the pros are doing to make wealth multiply and retire like royalty, then you need to listen to this show, Sound Path Through Retirement, with Ben Koval and Matt Leibarger. Get your money right and tune in every weekend, Saturdays at 10 a.m. and noon on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Costs are up, but life doesn't have to slow down. Subaru of Puyallup has fuel-efficient, all-wheel drive models meant for summer road trips. Experience the redesigned Subaru Outback. Bold, safe, more capable. For stress-free pricing and offers, visit SubaruofPuyallup.com, your stress-free dealership.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
Thank you, Advanced Hair. Thank you, Sean, for that. Here they come. How much was the mailman?
Very little.
Very little. Just a little. Give us a taste. Just a taste. I can name that tune in 2 notes, 3 notes, 4 or 5. There we go. Thanks. We'll take care of all the rest. Here we go.
Dennis in Seattle says, who in the world would tear up a perfectly good deck? Joseph, why did John say always prepare for Alex Jones?
Dennis, you asked the questions that no one wants the answers to. But thank you for that. Rihanna in Arlington says on the account Binfei says, does this man happen to be related to Larry David?
Similar sense of humor,
I guess, maybe.
206 says, my high school baseball coach was found out to have lied on his entire resume in the 90s. He was also a travel coach and said he played for the Angels in the minors, but we found out that was a lie also. Apparently had a couple felonies on his record, too.
Okay. A new old man John says, tell the truth, Nate. You change the station every time the Cars for Brats commercial comes on.
I love that one, actually.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Scott the Snot in Furcrest says, I'm watching the interview with Rye on YouTube, but his mouth is not matching with the audio. Are you guys trying to pull some kind of AI scam? I think Alex Joe needs to look into this.
Okay.
I'll get right on it.
Here we are. Ann and Ren says, we love Rye Roller. He's got talent for talking and listening. He's such a nice young man.
James in Issaquah says, I have to stop listening to you at this very moment because I have to get ready to bat in the Major League Baseball All-Star Home Run Derby.
Thank you, James. Good luck at the plate. Dwayne from the QFC says the Costco guy not being there as disappointing as John not being at KIRO.
Oh. See? Too many auctions.
Sorry, Dwayne.
Declining birth rates. Kyle in Marysville says, I was 20 when I had my son. Best decision I ever made. I'll be 40 and pretty much retired is the way I look at it. Still young enough to have fun.
Yeah, good for you, Kyle. Fernando in Seattle says Noah's wife's name was
Mzara.
Well, there we are. There we go.
They didn't have last names, by the way.
I was calling her Mrs. Noah's wife.
Yeah. Andrus in the 425 says, John, we used to have similar laws in Puerto Rico. You would go into, say, a drugstore, and there would be a whole section cordoned off where you couldn't buy stuff on Sundays.
That's right. Doug in Mount Vernon says, South Jersey blue pill laws for pro-family activities.
Oh,
good. Get the blue pill, get the family, get
RC in Edmonds says, south of the border, most everything shuts down at 2 p.m. for an hour or two. Siesta is for laying down, but not just for sleeping. No low birth rate down here. Can't wait for the Buc-ee's ad.
Mike in Portland says, sorry, John, but I thought I just heard you say all employees get off at 4 o'clock.
Oh, what's the idea? Dina in Kent says, I love John's parenting segment. My grown son came over from Ellensburg yesterday, gave his old mom a boat ride from Kirkland to Fisherman's Terminal for breakfast.
Yep.
I absolutely love any time I can get with my kids, no matter how old they are.
Good for you. Way to go. Dwindling trade labor force. Jamestown in Eastlake says, Gen Z, or the Goldfish Bowl generation, I said many corporate employers to second guess their next hires. Huh, okay.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Is that me? Or
no, that was him. That wasn't you. I should have gone in there and grammatically.
Yeah,
although I don't know what he's trying to say.
I don't know either, but okay, fine.
Trevor in Shoreline says, so you're telling me Lindsey Graham was on Russia's most wanted death list, and he bragged about it. Then he traveled 30 hours to visit a Ukrainian drone factory. Then Russia turns that drone factory into a crater on the ground the day he visits.
Yeah.
Then he travels 30 hours home, only to die of heart failure an hour after returning.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll get right on that. Okay. I got sources. You and Alex Jones. Good luck with those gay frogs. Yeah. Okay. Turn the frogs back. Big Mike. Nate checking traffic. Nate's doing traffic.
Yepper, JBLM North 5. We've got a 7-mile bumper-to-bumper backup between Stillicum DuPont Road up to South Tacoma Way, where that right lane is blocked due to a long-term collision. It's been with us for a good 90 minutes. When it first occurred, it had all lanes blocked for a while, so we're seeing improvement here. Olympia to Tacoma, an hour 10. That's a 40-minute delay. South 5 in Tacoma, just past 705. We cleared that stall out of your way, so that backup is starting to improve. Out toward Gorst, it looks like our car fire has cleared. Northbound 3, just north of Gorst. That State Route 16 backup has cleared. Southbound 3 remains bumper-to-bumper from Kitsap Way into Gorst. North 5 in Seattle, still heavy from I-90 now, as opposed to the West Seattle Bridge. I-90 to the Ship Canal Bridge. South 5 is packed from 50th to the Convention Center. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, plan on 25 minutes on both of our bridge routes. And in Canyon Park, South 405 at 527, looks like we may have a new crash as traffic comes to a halt there, and you're backed up to Damson Road. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Oh, I'm so glad that the guys over there at K2 Vision are having another webinar. This thing answers all of your questions. It's going to be on Thursday at noon. So I always say if you're over the age of 50, you don't want to wear glasses or contacts, concerned about a cataract, this is the way to go. RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange, from the good doctors at K2 Vision. But these webinars are great. You can find out everything. Because when I tell people I had RLE from K2 Vision, all the questions start coming. Is it like LASIK? I had LASIK early. What if I'm a good candidate? How do I tell if I'm a good candidate? How long does the procedure take? What's the recovery time like? How much does it cost? Is it covered by insurance? All of the questions and more will be answered for you. Now, know that you're in great hands. More than 150,000 of these procedures have been done. Is RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange, right for you? You can find out. Sign up for the webinar. It's free. It's going to be on Thursday at noon. K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com. K2VisionRLE.com.
30 years ago,
I wanted to be part of keeping the Seahawks in Seattle long term.
3 decades later,
12, they're bringing the trophy home.
2 Super Bowl championship banners hang in the stadium Paul Allen built. Now, a new era of stewardship begins.
Most things that seem impossible become possible.
And we welcome the Khosla family to Seattle. From the home of the Seahawks since the very beginning, KIRO News Radio.
This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Our summertime savings event means 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months, backed by our unbeatable warranties. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
There's a sink at the brink and a drain that's a pain. DayandNight.net.
Slow drain? Backed up toilet? Call Day and Night to save $100 off any drain cleaning.
Hi, I'm Bruce with Day and Night Plumbing and Heating. From a slow drain to a major backup, no drain is too big or too small. Whether we're your first choice or smart second opinion, I guarantee our experts will solve any drain problem, day or night.
Now get $100 off any drain cleaning.
DayandNight.net.
Hey, John, why don't you tell everybody why you started going to Longevity Medical Clinic?
No, I don't want to do that. I can tell you, I started going to Longevity Medical Clinic before I started doing these commercials, but that why I went is not important.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay. I'll tell you. I was a Sammamish City Council member, and whenever they had asked me to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I couldn't make it through the whole thing without crying. I know, it's so dumb. I mean, I know I'm patriotic, but what the heck? So I go into Longevity Medical Clinic, and I explained this to them, that there's something wrong with my hormones or something, and they see the testosterone and the estrogen are all out of balance. We balance all that stuff, and I can do the Pledge of Allegiance without crying. But I've also noticed that I deal with stress a lot better, don't I?
Yes, you're a lot easier to live with because you're getting more sleep, you have more energy, you're better organized, and I'm not helping you look for your car keys every morning.
Right, because now I've taken the steps to take care of my mind and body. I strongly recommend anybody get the free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Guys,